charges.
Rightly or wrongly, chaos follows him.
So Nikki Haley told a Fox town hall in Iowa days before the caucuses she's the right choice for the Republican 2024 nomination. Haley is second in the new Fox News Power Rankings, with some polls showing her trailing the former president by just single digits in New Hampshire. Ron DeSantis is third. He has a Fox town hall in Iowa tonight, but there's a snowstorm there and in other parts of the Midwest, as a big system also threatens potential tornadoes in the south and feared flooding in the northeast. Fox Business Network's Grady Trimble is in Des Moines.
The candidates are crisscrossing the state, or trying to. In this snow, several events have been canceled. But one thing that's clear is that former UN ambassador Nikki Haley has won over those major donors. Her campaign is raking in a lot of money.
Days after that door plug blew off an Alaska Airlines flight, leaving a big gaping hole in the plane, both United and Alaska have found issues with more door plugs on more grounded Boeing MAX 9 jets. The day after an unmanned mission to the moon launched, it's over.
Pittsburgh-based Astrobotic Technology says a critical fuel leak detected aboard Peregrine, their lunar lander, is so severe it cannot finish its voyage to the moon.
Fox's Evan Brown, this would have been the first U.S. moon landing in over a half century. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Nothing but rain. Showers all over radar. It's 39 downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Temperatures stayed warm enough to where central Indiana got a lot of rain instead of snow last night.
Luckily, with the storm track eventually going to our north and west, that's going to make sure that we have a prevailing rain precip type. But yeah, had we had colder air ahead of the storm, we could have had a light coating at least. And luckily, we were warm enough to avoid that.
Alex McGinnis with the National Weather Service. The same cannot be said for northern Indiana, where it snowed all throughout the night. It's called their Economic Freedom Agenda.
If we're honest with ourselves, we must admit most Hoosiers can't get ahead. In fact, the numbers tell us that most Hoosiers are fighting to stay afloat financially. They're not able to save.
That's State Rep Phil Giaquinta, who is the House Minority Leader in the state legislature. He and House Democrats want to raise the minimum wage in Indiana and fix property taxes. Governor Holcomb giving his State of the State later this evening. An elderly man was riding his bike Monday morning when he was hit by a car. Harrison Silcox reports.
The wreck happened on the west side of Marion. Police responded to the Butler Avenue overpass for the Cardinal Greenway Trail around 7:30 in the morning. Investigators say Norman Forbes was headed southbound, and so was the car that hit him. The car fled the scene, and Marion police were not able to get a description of the vehicle or whoever was behind the wheel. If you know what might have happened, Marion police would appreciate a phone call.
A fire at the Glendale Town Center on the north side. IFD Battalion Chief Rita Wright says it took firefighters a while to find the fire.
Kind of investigated around all four sides of the mall and found some light smoke showing from the area of where the library and Staples and Target is located.
They got it put out, though, but the smoke left some heavy damage all around those stores. No one was hurt. Tyrese Halliburton having an MRI done on his leg today. He had an awkward fall in the Indiana Pacers win over the Boston Celtics last night and injured his hamstring. He had to be carried back to the Pacers locker room after it happened. Traffic on the 5s, Matt Baer.
All right, Kurt, looking at the south side in this crash on eastbound 465, about a mile before Harding Street. And right now, the right shoulder is blocked. Traffic is stopped almost to I-70. It's a bad delay. Taking a look at the northeast side crash on northbound 465 at East 71st, covering the right shoulder, causing stop traffic to East 56. Also on the east side crash, southbound 465 at Washington. The left lane is blocked, causing a small delay there. Traffic sponsored by Unbound.org. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own. Unbound.org. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Zero Res, and the flash sale is on today, Tuesday, January 9th. Today only is the Zero Res Flash Sale Deal of the Year. It's a 3-room special, $99, and all additional services are 23% off if you use promo code ADD23. $99 for 3 rooms, including the ZR Water Difference. No soap, no residue, no harsh chemicals, leaving things really clean. $99 today and only today. Call them today at 317-388-5141 right now. If you call tomorrow, you won't get the flash sale offer of $99. It's only today. Zero Res has the best people, the best service, the best product, and now the absolute lowest price ever. Now, mention WIBC flash sale. You'll get today only the price of $99 for 3 rooms and 23% off virtually all their other cleaning services, even their duct cleaning. Don't miss out. Tomorrow this price is going to be gone. 388-5141 or online at zeroresindy.com.
This Saturday is the AAA Vacation Expo at the JW Marriott. It's free and no membership needed. Details and a chance to win $500 in travel vouchers at aaa.com/expo.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Showers continue with windy conditions throughout the day, a high of 44. Scattered showers changing to light snow, less than an inch expected overnight, a low down to 29. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
Showers blanketing the radar right now, 39 on Monument Circle. I'm Kurt Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, January 9th, 7 minutes after 9. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Are you ready, Rob? I'm going to sing for you.
I'm so glad you're back, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Did you miss me terribly?
Oh, my goodness. Yes. In every single way imaginable.
I can only imagine.
We started several rumors about where you were and what you were doing. I'm
Really?
sorry for all of those.
Where did you say I was?
Well, I can't speak of them on these airwaves because this is a family program. But I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, me too.
And
I am.
looking as wonderful as ever, by the way.
Aren't you being sweet this morning? Let's talk about Fannie Willis. What you talking about, Willis?
Fanny, what you talking
It's
about?
a Fannie affair. Okay, so this is the Fulton County District Attorney, right? This is the one who's trying to get Donald Trump thrown in jail for election interference,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
Okay, so she has now been accused of hiring her romantic partner to prosecute Trump.
What?
Yes, yes. She approved over $500,000 in pay for him, and she's taken some vacations with him. What do we think? Oh, my goodness. If this is true, this case should be dismissed and done with.
Well,
Done.
well, I mean, the case should have been done to begin with, but it does show. I mean, so number one, it shows the power of being able to weaponize justice against people you don't like. And we have long talked about how justice should be blind. People in positions of authority, whether they are local prosecutors or judges or attorneys general, your politics should not matter at all in that position. You really want apolitical people in those posts because their job is to uphold the Constitution, enforce the law. And what you have seen under the past 15, 20 years is the Democrats, and we talked about this last week, have been great while the Republicans were focused on, hey, we've got to win governor's races and we've got to take back the Senate. The Democrats were like, that's cute. We're going to go for the judges. We're going to go for the prosecutors, and we're going to go for the school boards because famously, the famous quote from Andrew Jackson, you've made your order, now let's see you enforce it. And so they have put radically left, Marxist, communist in many cases, individuals in these prosecutorial or judicial positions, and they're not interested in justice. They're not interested in administering the law. They're interested in infecting the legal system with their radical left politics. And so oftentimes these people who sit on these fake, phony, moral high horses, these better than everyone else, these people are supposedly in search of truth and justice in the American way, are complete scumbags themselves and do as I say, not as I do. And it's true of both parties. This woman just happens to be a radically left Democrat, and you're potentially seeing that in this case.
Well, it's completely fraudulent if it's true, and it's alleged that this guy, what's the word?
I have no idea. What are you? Speak English, Casey.
Her dude
has
never tried a case before.
The guy she was doing the hokey pokey
Paramour.
with.
That's the word I'm looking
what?
for. The paramour.
What? I've never heard that word before.
The hokey pokey partner.
Oh, that's a word? There's a word for somebody you're doing the hokey pokey with?
Yeah. But if in fact...
Kev, wait a second. Is this a French word or what is this?
Yeah.
Kev, have you ever heard of this? You're a world traveler.
I know there's a band called Paramore. That's all I know about that.
But if it's true, so the American taxpayer is the one who's paying for these two to go on these trips together. Yes.
Well,
and paying his salary.
All right. So, yes, by the way, when you put Paramore into your Google search, the band is the first thing that comes up. Kevin, thank you so much for that. Of course. But this is not new. Brad Kloppenstein and I were talking about this the other day. You've been gone so long, I can't remember which day it was that you weren't here.
Sure.
Remember...
And that's the pot calling the kettle black. I was gone 2 days.
Remember Mark Sanford, who was the governor of South Carolina? A lot of people had him pegged as a potential presidential candidate at some point. And he just disappeared into the ether and nobody knew where he was. He pulled a Lloyd Austin and nobody knew where he was. And then it turns out he's in some foreign country hiking through the mountains with his mistress. These people have no scruples, no morals, no regard. I mean, you and I sit here and we talk about this all the time about, oh my gosh, if you're an elected person, you are in charge of public money. It is such an honor to be bestowed as someone who has had it done to them, the public trust. And every dollar you spend is someone else's dollar, and every move you make is done on the backs of someone else. And shouldn't we have, every single expense being, evaluated to the nth degree? And these people, whether it's Fannie, what you're talking about, Willis or Sanford or whoever else, they're playing government. When you were a kid, did you, play cops and robbers? Did you play house? These people are playing government. They're unserious people. In the case of Fannie Willis, she's a radically left lunatic, and she has weaponized her position to try to take out Donald Trump and everyone in his orbit.
Now, it's being reported that the two did travel together to places like Washington, D.C., even New York City, and you could argue that that was for business. But it's also being reported that they took a Royal Caribbean cruise together, and they've been to Napa Valley together. The cruise, no way. You can't explain that away.
Yeah, but this shows the narcissism, and it's really, in many ways, it's sociopathic behavior of these people. Because if you're Fannie, what you talking about, Willis, and we talk about this with powerful people all the time who have inappropriate relationships with subordinates. I mean, there's a big thing now. Abdul reported in his cheat sheet where a bunch of these lawmakers this year are being denied female legislative assistants because they don't trust them. And the management over there knows what a bunch of just scumbags a lot of these dudes are. And they're like, you can't have a woman work under you because we know your propensity to whatever. Now, whether that's true or not, Abdul's really good on this stuff. And so
sounds like something for the ethics committee.
Well, but we see this stuff all the time. You see it in Hollywood. You see it, in business. You can have a relationship where people can have a relationship and have the access and means to have a relationship with whoever you want, and yet they choose to have relationships with people who can get them in trouble. The only reason you do that is because you get off on the power that comes with it and the ability to have power. And in this case, Fannie Willis sticking a middle finger to the taxpayers, knowing a clear breach, if indeed this occurred, has happened while she's doing this, and they don't care. They do not care. These politicians, they do not care about you at all. And now, unfortunately, so many of these prosecutors and judges are politicians. Look at what we're going through in our own state right now with the Attorney General. What a disgrace Todd Rokita is, and a guy who will not shut his mouth and will not play by the rules of the road that comes with being an attorney, which he knew were the rules of the road when he got into the game of being an attorney general, where you have to have a law license, and he won't stop because these politicians believe no one is more important than them. Who are you to intercede, Casey Daniels? Who are you to tell them what they can and can't do? Don't you know how important they are? Rules, schmools, they don't matter for these people.
Okay, so the Department of Homeland Security had a lot to say yesterday, and we're going to get to that coming up from 93 WIBC.
Tony Katz.
I alphabetized my soundboard. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. F?
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, sir.
I have to go to S for Sopranos. Makes sense.
Yeah, I think you got it.
It's so clean now. It's fantastic. Yeah, we have clearly run out of things to talk about. There's nothing else going on in the world.
It's a great world. Everything's so
This show is stupid.
Tony Katz, mornings 6 to 9 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob for my friends at the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you gotta call the Bath Authority. Now, the Bath Authority, these guys are great. They provide the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. Their modern, durable tubs and showers are designed with an exclusive high-tech polymer lining. And what that means to you is, and this is great, it's going to be low maintenance, resistant to mold and mildew, easy to clean, and probably most importantly of all, last for decades. Plus, it comes with a lifetime warranty. We're talking about walk-in tubs, replacement showers, tub-to-shower conversions, and much more. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety. Schedule your free, yes, free in-home estimate today, and you can get $1,000 off a new shower or bath. $1,000 off, plus 36 months interest-free financing. Yeah, I didn't stutter on that. 36 months interest-free financing. What a deal. TheBathAuthority.com. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. Destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars Thursday, January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, January 27th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Pat Sullivan here. Do gurgling pipes and running toilets keep you up at night? Become a member at Hope Plumbing and have the comfort of knowing you have a plumber on call. For only $8 a month, you get the ease of having your own plumber on hand, a 10% discount on all plumbing services, 1 annual free mainline cleaning, 1 annual plumbing safety inspection, and all the trip charges waived. Call Hope Plumbing today and become a member to start saving big.
It's 2024 and the choice is yours. You can live with that awful joint pain or you can get lasting relief. Don't go another year compromising because of the pain in your knees or shoulder. Talk to QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative, non-surgical pain relief. Your body has what it needs to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue. And QC Kinetics can make it happen. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. The future of pain treatments has arrived and QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, hip pain, well, they used to have it. Any pain associated with arthritis or an injury. It's not a Band-Aid. This revolutionary treatment can get you moving again, get your life back. And listen, it's non-surgical. Get a free consultation on the calendar today. You can even visit on Saturday for no downtime at work. QC Kinetics. It's in Eagle Creek, in Greenwood, and now in Carmel. Call 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN. QC Kinetics. 317-559-PAIN.
It's the Kendall and Casey Show.
Listen, I'm a politician, which means I'm a cheat and a liar. And when I'm not kissing babies, I'm stealing their lollipops.
On 93 WIBC.
20 minutes after 9, it's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC. Let's talk about the Homeland Security Secretary, Alejandro Mayorkas. Yesterday, he was touting his record on managing the border down south, the U.S.-Mexico border. Of course he was. And then he went on to blame Congress for legislative paralysis. So here's a guy who's taking zero accountability for his job performance. And, of course, this happening just days before the House impeachment hearing against him.
So we use the phrase legislative paralysis. You notice they always use just bizarro phrase. Let's face it. And I'm not talking about people who work in the government who are rank and file government people. Many of those people are fine and wonderful. And I have many, many people who do that who are friends. I'm talking about the higher up people, the people who elevate either in this case, a cabinet level type person or the politicians themselves. Let's face it, Casey. The overwhelming majority of these people are complete weirdos. I mean, they are just complete, utter weirdos. If you saw them at a Denny's, you'd point at them and laugh. And they have, because many of them were just weirdos and nerds and losers in life, this is their version of joining the cool kids club. And many, many of these people are complete incompetent buffoons. And the refusal to take ownership, if you notice in politics, there is almost always a complete refusal to take ownership of any sort. Now, if something good happens, they want all the credit. But when something doesn't go right, it's always someone else's fault. There is plenty of money to secure the southern border. There have been plenty of resources allocated to secure the southern border. It is not a monetary issue. It is in the case of Mayorkas, and the master that you serve, which is a group of an administration that is radically left, run by far left lunatics, is wholly invested in mass illegal immigration because you believe those people will create, one, a dependency on the government, which you live and lust for, and two, those same people will then birth an entire generation of largely Democrat voters. It's not a lack of resources. It's a lack of will. It is a lack of desire. There is a reason that when Donald Trump, they had 3 million plus illegal border crossings this past year. There is a reason that in 2017, it was 310,000 under Donald Trump. There was a desire to secure the southern border. There was a will to secure the southern border. There was an emphasis to secure the southern border. And the people who were coming to the country illegally knew that they were not going to get away with it. They were not going to be allowed to stay here and shuffle around and do as they please. They aren't coming here because of climate change. They aren't coming here because things have just magically gotten worse in their country. Things, in many cases, suck in their country of origin now, and they suck in their country of origin in 2017. They're coming here, Casey, because they are told by Biden and by the Biden administration, we want you here. If we catch you, we will just release you into the ether and beg you to come back in 2 years for your court date. There's no punishment in breaking the law.
So the immigrant, the pace that they're coming in will overshadow the great state of Ohio at this point if they don't do something about it. But it would almost be more sincere if Mayorkas would say, hey, I'm just following orders. But instead, he's in complete denial. And he was saying that it could not be further from the truth that he's not enforcing our nation's laws.
Some have accused DHS of not enforcing our nation's laws. This could not be further from the truth. Having begun my public service career as a federal prosecutor for 12 years, ultimately serving as the United States Attorney, there is nothing I take more seriously than our responsibility to uphold the law. And the men and women of DHS are working around the clock to do so.
So it's an unrelenting stream of people. And why is it they always feel the need to explain their resume when they're in situations like this? But I've done this, and this. Okay, great. You're not doing anything now.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. The resume for them is the livelihood. And so many of these people, and it's true in both parties, who elevate up the ladder, that elevation is their life's ambition. It is all about the next thing, the next pin on the chest, the next resume check. And they put that ahead of family. They put that ahead of country. They put that ahead, of community. Their whole life is about that resume because that's where they draw a sense of self-worth from.
So he went on to say that the record-breaking number of illegal immigrants who've crossed the southern border in December was a lack of the Mexican enforcement.
Sure.
So now he's also blaming another country. But I want you to listen to this. In 2007, when he was just a senator, here's Joe Biden declaring that no great nation has uncontrolled borders. He went on to warn that America must build a border fence and increase border agents to secure the nation against drug, terror, and illegal immigration. 2007 to 2024, things have changed.
It makes sense that no great nation can be in a position where they can't control their borders. It matters how you control your borders, not just for immigration, but it matters for drugs, terror, a whole range of other things. So that's the first sort of truism. The second truism is that this nation is such that people in the country should have the first opportunity to be able to have jobs that pay well and have jobs that are decent, and that after that, the second crack goes to what we may need from other parts of the world or any other input.
It almost sounds like he was saying things just to get himself elected, not what he actually believes.
Well, I think, first of all, I'm not sure he remembers saying that. If you were to present him with that tape, he would claim it's computer doctored. I'm not sure Biden's mentally capable of remembering what he said. But I think that's what Biden actually believes. There's all sorts of stuff of Biden years ago sounding moderately conservative, especially on socially related issues. Casey, he wrote the crime reform bill that overwhelmingly punished low-level drug offenses, which were predominantly black people. And then he, has the audacity to say, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. I mean, this guy is obviously
changed.
Well, he's changed mentally, he's changed physically, but he's also morphed into, because again, politician, not what I am, but what I believe people want me to believe or be, or what I believe I need to be in order to secure support from people. And this is the kind of overwhelming theme with our country now at all levels and we talk about it a lot here. It's a crisis of leadership. It's a crisis of people willing to stand up for what they believe. It's a crisis of people willing to say, this is right and this is wrong. And if I got to be punished politically for being right, then I'm willing to do that. People aren't willing to do that. He sounded like a fairly rational person in that clip you just played, because that is sort of a mainstream American position, much of it, on how to deal with immigration. But he's not interested in the position of mainstream America or rational, because the goal is not workers. The goal is not filling jobs that are needed. The goal is to get all these people in the country because they want them for their votes.
Almost sounds like a lack of conviction. It's now being said that 93% of Americans now call the border a crisis or a serious problem and want his administration to step up their efforts.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, Mike is going to be with us. He is embarking on something that I cannot believe. I think it's very dangerous for his health, but he doesn't seem concerned at all.
Yeah.
And the legislative session is the overachievers down the street from us are back working on our behalf. And news, this will come as a big surprise to you, Casey. No big ideas whatsoever. Absolutely nothing. Nothing that's going to benefit you in any shape, form, or fashion.
My shocked face. That's on the way from 93 WIBC.
Ring in the new year with the ultimate timeless gift, a diamond from Diamonds Direct. Whether you're ready to pop the question or celebrating a lifetime of love in 2024, Diamonds Direct can make this New Year's one to remember forever. Diamonds Direct is the area's destination for exquisite diamonds in all shapes and sizes, and our nationwide price guarantee ensures you'll get the best value, period. To showcase that spectacular diamond, we have literally thousands of designer settings from all the top names like Tacori, Verragio, Simon G, A. Jaffe, and many more. And our experts will guide you every step of the way with the education you want and the respect you deserve. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, fashion rings. At Diamonds Direct, we specialize in the ultimate symbol of love, and we welcome the opportunity to celebrate with you. So start the new year with some new excitement, new hope, and some new bling. Diamonds Direct. Keystone at the Crossing, the official jeweler of the Indianapolis Colts, and proud to call Indy home. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Facing the judges, it's 39 degrees with showers all over radar. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:30. No, not one, but two court appearances this week for former President Donald Trump. The first is today in Washington.
The former president will show up at court here today, and this case is looking at whether or not he is entitled to presidential immunity. If the court finds Trump is immune from prosecution, this could shut down the special counsel's criminal case against Trump for alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election before the case even goes to trial.
Fox's Hillary Vaughn. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Tel Aviv meeting with Israeli leaders today as the U.S. continues efforts to prevent the Israel-Hamas war from spreading throughout the Middle East. It's Blinken's fourth trip to the region since Hamas carried out a wave of attacks inside Israel back on October 7th. Now your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. A bad start to the day. The Dow was down 230 points to 37,707. The NASDAQ is off 133 to 16,670. And the S&P 500 is down 28 to 4,772. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapor Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapor Shower for steamy Vicks Vapors.
Use as directed. Vapor Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapor Shower use for adults only.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds, and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day, and nothing worked until Mark Patrick hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again, my blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars. Early bird special only $49.99. Thursday, January 25th, Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 5:30. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, January 27th, Holiday Inn Express and Suites Noblesville. Weight loss 11 a.m. Stop smoking 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
At Absolute Wealth Management, LLC, we understand that your retirement and taxes are inseparable. And if you're over 50, we're offering a special deal to kickstart your financial journey in 2024. You can have your 2023 tax return prepared and filed, including Schedules A, B, and D, for just $79.95. This can be the start of a lifelong, profitable partnership with Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. All our retirement planning clients will continue to receive the substantial discount for tax filing and preparation as part of our ongoing retirement marathon that focuses on protecting everything you've worked so hard to build while still providing growth to help elevate your lifestyle in retirement. Take absolute control of your retirement. Call us now at 317-288-0634, 317-288-0634, or visit AbsoluteWealthManagementLLC.com. Investment advisory service is offered through Gradient Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Gradient Advisors, LLC, and its advisors do not render tax, legal, or accounting advice.
This Saturday is the AAA Vacation Expo at the JW Marriott. It's free and no membership needed. Details and a chance to win $500 in travel vouchers at aaa.com/expo.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Jesus was an only son as he walked to Calvary Hill.
93 WIBC. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. I'm Rob. Casey's here. Let's go to the WIBC hotline, joined by the conservative voice of the state of Indiana, Micah Beckwith. All right, Beckwith, the legislative session has begun, and it feels like another year we are void of any big, bold ideas for helping the people when it comes to the Republicans. You're friends with all these people. What say you?
Well, I have heard. I mean, you're not wrong. I have heard that they're going to try to stay away from anything that's controversial. And you know, sometimes you gotta wonder how much fight is left in some of these people. And that's the thing. Like, if you get into the political world, you have to know you are entering into an arena, and there will be fights. There's going to be people who say the worst things about you ever. There's going to be people who, you know, try to disparage you at every turn, but that's what you signed up for. And so whenever I hear a legislator say, hey, we want to stay away from controversial issues this session, to me, I'm just like, why did you get into politics in the first place? Politics has always been divisive. It will continue to be divisive. It doesn't mean we get a pass of doing the right things just because somebody might be upset with us.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the Democrats come out, and we all know what the Democrats are, but in their agenda priority list, they had, we'd like to help the people with the property tax. And I'm sitting here going, what world are we living in where it's now the Democrats who are like, hey, one of our priorities would be to help you with your out-of-control property taxes, and the Republicans once again appear to be like, nah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, I think it's disingenuous for the Democrats to be saying this right now because they really don't mean it, but they are seeing the political win that issue has. And that's where I question the Republicans. I'm like, guys, you should be the party that wants to limit taxes. Property taxes is a great issue to take up politically speaking. People on both sides of the aisle want this done. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Kate.
I was thinking the same thing, Micah, that it sounds like, yeah, it's easy for them to say, hey, we want to help with property taxes, knowing full well that they're not going to be able to do anything. So they're just trying to use it as a talking point.
Exactly. And so when you hear Democrats say that, just know they really don't mean it. Like, they would sell you out to communist China in a heartbeat. They're just trying to win votes, and they know that this issue matters with Hoosiers. But again, where's the Republican leadership on this one specific issue? And I think we could point to a lot of issues, but specifically property taxes. Rob, Casey, you and I, we've talked about this for over a year now. Like, this is a political just slam dunk. I don't understand what is holding them back from dealing with the rising property taxes. And people are just getting everywhere I go around the state when I'm talking to people. This is one of the number one issues. They say, I'm getting killed with my property taxes. Why isn't anyone doing anything?
Yeah, and it's interesting because we have 5 people running for governor. You've got Mike Braun, who's running ads about how he's going to secure the border and stop China. And then the rest of them, there's nothing from these people. And it's like, there's 5 of you. Wouldn't one of you have some super big, bold ideas where you're like, that's cool. I'm kind of fired up about that. Even if you don't mean it, it would give me something to talk about. You, Micah Beckwith, are far more interesting than the 5 people running for governor.
Oh, stop it. You're just saying.
Oh, stop.
I mean, it is. It's just like I look at this, and I think you hit the nail on the head, which is these people don't want to fight because they want to be in the position. They're more comfortable. Their whole goal is to stay in office, not help the people. And so their default mechanism is let's do the least amount possible that'll ruffle the least amount of feathers possible, and then we'll be back here together next year, and we'll be reelected for 2 or 4 more years.
Yeah, and I think that's the key right there. Why is it so important not to have any controversial subjects happen at the legislature? Because we've got an election coming up in a few short months. And this is what I saw last year on the library board when the municipality elections were happening. A lot of our local leaders, mayors and council members, they were coming to me privately say, whoa, you can't be getting porn out of the kids section right now because we got an election coming up and we don't want to lose our seats. And so we got to be really strategic about this. This is why, county chairs are always hesitant to do anything that's bold around the election time because they don't want to lose. And to me, what I say is, listen, guys, do what's right all the time, no matter the cost. And guess what? That will produce wins. I mean, that's the thing that I just don't understand. When the people look at you, whether you're Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, doesn't matter, if they say that guy's doing what's right all the time, people are going to rally behind that. And so that's the type of leadership we need. And I just don't see it a whole lot from Indiana GOP leadership, unfortunately.
Micah, now you and Rob have both said that they don't want to do anything controversial, and they've even promised a quieter, non-budget session. But don't you think on some level that the Medicaid reimbursement, the large water transfers, the holding a large group of third graders back is controversial?
I think 100% it's controversial. I mean, again, this is there's people. We have a rally here in just an hour and a half down.
Wait, no. Answer the question, then let's get into that, because you and I had a long conversation about this last night. I don't want you to steal my thunder on this. You answer the lady's question, then we'll talk about the anti-leap rally.
I'm thinking as a parent, and you've got the governor saying, "Hey, we're considering holding a whole big group of third graders back." You're like, "Whoa, what?"
Heck no! And this is so government, Casey. They create the problem.
Yes.
And then they screw over the people to try to fix the problem, which creates more problems. And it's like, no. You don't get to hold me back and hold my child back because of your issue. You fix you, and you let us do us. And so that. But you're right. There's going to be some controversial subjects that they're going to have to deal with. And whenever leadership goes into a session and say we don't want any controversy, what they're doing is they're basically neutering any of the bold leadership that could come out from the legislators, because now every legislator is going to be thinking, well, if I say this, is that going to ruffle feathers too much? And I don't really want to say the right thing or the wrong thing, so I'm just not going to say anything at all. And that's not the leadership we need right now.
That's my new approach. I'm not going to say anything at all, Casey.
Please.
I don't want to say the right thing or the wrong thing.
I think that's what they're paying you for. But don't you think it's a little, I don't know, disingenuous? They're like, we're going to hold all these third graders back, and then many of them turning around blaming the parents.
Yeah, it's completely disingenuous. And I would have more respect for them if they say, hey, guys, like this is our solution that we're putting forth because of the problem that we made, right? Like if they just came out and said, we did this, we're sorry, we should have not done this, we should have not shut schools down during COVID, we should have not masked up kids, we should have not done these things, but we did. We own it, and here's a solution we're putting forth. Even if they said it that way, I would have much more respect for even that, because at least now I can say, okay, you're coming to the table and you're being honest about what has happened. Right now, they're kind of doing this. Well, it's not our fault. We're just trying to fix a problem that I don't know how it got here. It just got here, and so we're just we're going to try to do something about it. It's like, no, we all know how it got here, and you government are the reason it got here. So.
Micah Beckwith is our guest. Before we ask Beckwith this question here, Casey, I feel like, now, I could be wrong. You're the voice of reason on this program. I feel like we have done more than our fair share for the LEAP people, right? I mean, when it comes to if you're a farmer or you're a person in Tippecanoe County getting your water stolen, or you're just a pissed off taxpayer who's mad that $500 million of your money is going to help the largest some of the largest, most successful corporations in the world. I feel like we have been the voice of the voiceless for the anti-LEAP people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we had that spat with mouthy Matt Gentry, the mayor out there in Lebanon, who was a real tough guy once he got out of these studios and got real mouth. I mean, I feel like we have done our part. And then Beckwith tells me last night that there's some anti-LEAP rally today downtown, and we weren't even informed about it.
What?
Micah, what is going on?
Okay. I you know how I said you might want to, we need to own our mistakes and things like that. So I that might have been my fault. I think because last week I was asked to reach out to you guys and let you guys.
Oh boy! Hello.
Wait. So they were like, hey, Micah, there's this big thing, and Rob and Casey have been super supportive of our cause. You're bestest buddies with Rob. Maybe you could just reach out to him, let him know, and you're like, sure, I'll take care of that.
Something like, I can't remember the conversation, but I, in my defense, I did tell you. I told you. Did I not?
Last night. I text Micah before the show, the night before, he just said, hey, I'd like to talk about these things. What's on your list? And he's like, hey, there's a big anti-LEAP rally today at the state house.
Well, Micah, tell us when and where and what's going on.
Yeah, it's starting at 11 o'clock at the State House. So just
plenty of time to get there, Casey.
Oh, sure. 11 o'clock while we're on the air, but go ahead.
Hey, you know what? If you're listening to this and you can swing over to the State House. But here's the thing. I know you guys are doing important work at 11 to noon, right? I didn't want to I didn't want to make you guys feel uncomfortable, like you had to give up your important work.
No, but here's the thing, Micah. Anytime we talk about Leap, it gives me an opportunity to rip on some of my favorite people. I can rip on Holcomb. I can rip on Chambers. I can rip on Mouthy Matt out there in Lebanon. I mean, there are so many opportunities to discuss the failures of some of our favorite failed politicians, and you have denied me that opportunity because you were a terrible friend.
You always tell me you do not do causes during football season. And last night was one of the biggest games of my life. And I just, I wanted to...
Of his life.
Micah, I did this, and I feel terrible, and we'll let you go with this because I know Mike is a huge Michigan fan. And I do this when the Bears play the Packers. I bet on in this case, Michigan, because I wanted them to lose. And so that way I can't lose. Either I'm going to win money, as I did last night, or the team I want to lose, I will gladly spend $5 to see Michigan lose. They did win. I know you're very ecstatic.
It was an answer to prayer. It's no coincidence. We started our 21 days of prayer last night at 6:30 at Life Church. And then, wouldn't you know, Michigan brought home the W. And so I just think, the Lord hears our prayers. That's all I got to say.
No, I'm doing no soda and no alcohol for 21 days, Casey. I was a wreck last night at about 11 o'clock.
You were wanting a cocktail,
I said, why am I so tired? And then I realized because Micah is screwing my existence, pressuring me to do this 21 days of fasting. Actually, it's for God, but Micah is the conduit, so I blame Micah.
Give it a few more days. You'll feel better.
It's 21 days is a long time. I mean, that's 3 weeks. So I'm giving up food, and boy, I tell you what.
For 21 straight days?
I mean, I'm going to try.
You're fasting for 21 days?
You will be dead, Micah. You cannot fast for 21 straight days.
Hey, man does not live on bread alone.
This is so interesting because we were having this conversation with my dad last night about the fasting, and my dad was like, people are not going to eat for 21 days. And I said, no one would be that stupid. And now it turns out Micah Beckwith is going to not eat for 21 days.
We found someone.
No, there's a lot of people that are doing that. And here's the thing, Moses fasted for 40 days on Mount Sinai. He actually gave up food and water. He didn't drink anything for 40 days.
Micah,
he's going to be really fun next week.
I am not Moses, Micah. I'm going to send a home health care expert over there to keep an eye on you 24/7.
Hey, it's good. Every time you fast, or whatever you're fasting for, however long you're fasting, the point is when you kind of feel that urge to come on and do the thing, you turn to the Lord and say, Lord, all right, sustain me in this moment. Help me to just seek you in this, and I'm kind of giving up the physical needs, but
that's amazing.
Seriously, no food at all? You're not joking?
I'm not. No, I'm not joking. I mean,
this is amazing.
I've never done a fast that long before, but I really feel like this is, I gotta do that.
I've done a day fast.
I would vote for you if you pull this off. I don't care what underachiever is the actual nominee for governor. If you pull off 21 days with no food, I will vote for the Republican if you're the lieutenant governor nominee.
This is far more interesting to me than talking about the Indiana legislators. So, Micah, I've given up the booze, the smokes, the cannabis. I'm eating healthy now, but I'm still eating. Why are you giving up food?
Well, because again, when you have those urges to eat, and when your body's going through that, it prompts your spirit to say, "All right, Lord, I'm coming to you now. Please sustain me." I mean, Jesus fasted for 40 days in the wilderness before he started his ministry, and so there's a lot. The Lord says in Scripture very clearly, He says, "When you fast, I will reward you." Right. So there's going to be blessings that come through fast, but it really kind of tunes your spirit into the spirit of the Lord when you're fasting, because it's kind of prompting you in the physical, like, oh man, something doesn't feel right.
Yeah, you're hungry.
Now I feel like so bad that I was so high and mighty yesterday about my soda and alcohol ban for 21 days. Micah Beckwith, you're the best. We hope you're alive a week from now. We'll look forward to talking to you then. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, guys. Love you guys.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, Michelle Obama. She's running, right? That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
Hoosiers embody the American spirit. Settlers who refuse to settle, and pioneers who aren't near done blazing trails. giant leap for mankind. Hoosiers for Opportunity, Prosperity, and Enterprise are joining the working men and women of Indiana to build a state where freedom and growth are promoted and life, liberty, and property are protected. Hoosiers for Opportunity, Prosperity, and Enterprise believes in a common sense approach to improving the Hoosier state. Simple yet exceptional ideas like empowering individuals to make their own choices with their hard-earned money and encouraging free enterprise so people can succeed. Hoosiers for Opportunity, Prosperity, and Enterprise also knows we can help students achieve by embracing educational choice and help families live fuller lives by making healthcare freedom a reality in Indiana. If you want to join the voices of other Hoosiers who share your common sense ideas for Indiana's future, visit HoosierHope.org. That's HoosierHope.org. Paid for by Hope, Inc.
A house isn't a home without a little wear and tear, spilled milk, or muddy paws. But don't just clean it, quick shine it. Hey, Pat Sullivan here for Quick Shine Finishes and Cleaners with some Floor Care 101 tips. First, no matter the surface type, be sure to remove dust and debris. Avoid heavy chemicals or all-purpose liquids as they can damage the sealant layer or leave an oily residue. Now, to best clean and protect your floors at a modest price, don't just clean it, quick shine it. Quick Shine Finishes and Cleaners use non-toxic ingredients, making it better for kids, pets, and the environment. With an EPA Safe Choice certification, and Quick Shine has a full line of products to treat any surface, including their floor cleaner, floor finisher, and hardwood floor luster. I use it on my own floors. Made right here in central Indiana for over 60 years by Holloway House, a family-owned company. Quick Shine Finishes and Cleaners is available at retailers everywhere.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Your financial life is about way more than investments. There's also taxes, insurance, estate planning, and other elements that need to be considered. Find out what your financial plan may be missing with a free wealth path analysis from Creative Planning. A wealth path analysis is a blueprint for your completely customized plan built to maximize your wealth and ensure all aspects of your wealth are working harder together. This offer is only good till Monday at midnight. That's creativeplanning.com/radio.
Hey, we're pretty social people at WIBC. You can find us all over social media. See what we're up to on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. We're never more than just a away. Just search for 93 WIBC.
Number one, that's what they are. Good morning, it's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So Michigan retained their number one spot in the final AP Top 25 rankings. That after they won the game last night, 34-13 against Washington. Notre Dame, Rob, our Notre Dame, they're at number 14 on the AP Top 25.
Well, they won the Sun Bowl, Casey. They were very dominant over Oregon State in the Sun Bowl. I'm always torn on this. So I did what I do when... Like the Bears played the Packers on Saturday or Sunday. So I bet on the Packers on the money line. So that way I can't lose. If the Bears win, I'm very happy. If the Packers win, I win money. I did the same thing last night. I bet Michigan on the money line because I wanted that cheater Harbaugh to lose. But I won money, so I'm never going to complain about winning money. So I was neutral in the game last night. Either way, I was going to come out a victor.
That nose picker. Okay, so did you see the beginning of the game, actually before the game game even started. The music that was playing, I don't know if you paid any attention to that. It was a
Do I strike you as the sort of person who would pay attention to the music before a football game, Casey?
Isn't this something we're talking about the Michigan game, and the lady is talking about the music, not the actual game.
Yeah.
But John Williams was John Williams,
No idea.
famous composer.
Nope, nothing.
Oh yes, he did Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, okay.
He did Jaws, all the theme songs.
That's like
they hired him to compose special music just for the college football playoff.
I love you. That was such a woman thing you just did there. You're like, you know who that is. I'm like, no, I really don't. You know who that. That's like saying, like, if you're like somebody knows who Elvis is but doesn't know who Lieber and Stoller is. I mean, come on now, Rob.
But after I told you, you knew who I was talking about.
Well, I know Raiders of the Lost Ark. I still don't know who this guy is, but I know the music for Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay, Jim Harbaugh. Will he stay at Michigan? Will he go to the NFL?
He gone.
He gone? You think so?
Oh, he's going to take the money. He's going to be like, good luck with your fines and penalties. I'm out of here.
I'm out. All right, Nikki Kelly from Indiana Capitol Chronicle. She's going to join us next, and we're going to talk about the Indiana legislature that's coming up from 93 WIBC.
Hi, this is Jiffy Lube owner Steve Sanner. Jiffy Lube is a one-stop shop for all your car's maintenance needs to operate safely and efficiently. At Jiffy Lube, we believe knowledge is power. Our Jiffy Lube teams don't do repair work, but our focus is on becoming your go-to guys for all your manufacturer's recommended maintenance. So while we are still the fastest team in town, cars and trucks need a lot more than oil changes. Tires need to be rotated, wipers, belts, lights, and filters wear out, brake parts need to be replaced. Why make yourself deal with 2 or 3 different shops just to take proper care of your car? It's way easier to join the million Hoosiers every year who drive into Jiffy Lube and drive out with the peace of mind that their car is safe and working well. We are a one-stop shop for all the maintenance your car will ever need.
The go-to guys for all your car's recommended maintenance needs. Jiffy Lube.
I've been asked 1,000 times, did you plan on becoming the largest injury law firm in the world? And the answer is no. When I started, there were just 2 of us. Today, Morgan & Morgan has almost 800 lawyers alone. No injury firm in the country has anywhere close to that. We set out to be focused on our clients and to have a commitment to trying cases and winning. And when you have those results at trial, you're able to settle most of your cases quickly and fairly. Reputation matters. We grew like this because we worked hard, and so many former clients referred family and friends. And what I believe is the main reason is we delivered for our clients a lot. Hard work and client satisfaction was our plan. It worked. Hope is not a plan. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, it's Rob for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you gotta call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. Their modern, durable tubs and showers are designed with an exclusive high-tech polymer liner. What that means to you is it'll be low maintenance, resistant to mold and mildew, easy to clean, and last for decades. Plus, it comes with a lifetime warranty. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety. Schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath. Plus, 36 months of interest-free financing. Yeah, I 100% did not stutter. 36 months of interest-free financing. My friends at the Bath Authority, thebathauthority.com, a better bath awaits.
Let Bill Estes put you behind the wheel of the powerhouse brands that define American toughness. Ford, Chevy, Ram, and GMC. Right now, save up to $15,000 off MSRP on Chevy trucks. Unleash the power of the road with Bill Estes Trucks. Find the location near you and see their inventory at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Prices include Costco membership rebate of $1,000. All rebates and incentives included in final discount. Stock numbers BCI 230444, BCJ 240066, BFB 230713. TRX Raptor and ZR2 models excluded from all offers. See dealer for details. Offer absolutely ends January 31st, 2024.
The Fed's new FedNow system is all about surveillance and control. Secure your assets today
with something Washington cannot manipulate. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, and I recommend diversifying your retirement into a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. Do this right now. Text SHELTER to the number 989898 and get a free info kit from Birch Gold. There's no obligation or purchase required.
Message and data rates may apply.
Coming up in 2 minutes, what we got and what we're going to get next when it comes to the winter weather. Plus, the governor speaks tonight, but Democrats spoke last night. And more layoffs coming at this company that you know pretty well here in Indiana. I'm Kirk Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recyclers Studios after Fox News Radio. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
Former President Trump is in a federal courtroom. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and he didn't say anything on his way in, and he's letting his lawyer do the talking.
To authorize the prosecution of a president for his official acts would open a Pandora's box from which this nation may never recover.
Trump attorney John Sauer urging an appeals court to grant the former president immunity ahead of a March trial on federal 2020 election-related charges.
Special counsel's office says these arguments are nonsense, that Trump's conduct fell outside his official duties as president, and, quote, it is the defendant's claim that he cannot be held to answer for the charges that he engaged in an unprecedented effort to retain power through criminal means, despite having lost the election.
Fox's Rich Edson outside the courthouse. The former president remains the frontrunner in the Republican White House race less than a week before the Iowa caucuses. But in new Fox News power rankings, Nikki Haley's moved into second as she gets closer to Trump in New Hampshire polls. Haley told a Fox town hall last night she can beat the former president and wants attempts to disqualify him to fail.
We can't have others saying, I don't think he should be on the ballot. I think Americans can decide on their own whether they want him to be on the ballot or not.
Ron DeSantis has a Fox town hall tonight. Some campaign events in Iowa canceled today as a snowstorm hits there and parts of the Midwest. It's dangerous to the south, like in Florida.
We've had tornado reports, confirmed tornado reports for the Panhandle. Earlier this morning, we had reports of a tornado moving through the Mobile, Alabama area.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean also warns of heavy wind and rain that could knock out power and flood areas from Maine to Maryland to Maine. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken is in Israel. But as he tries to prevent the war against Hamas, still raging today, from spreading beyond Gaza.
Reports this morning indicate there was another targeted strike in southern Lebanon. The Israelis reportedly taking out a drone unit there after a new attack into northern Israel.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. Blinken's meeting with Israel's war cabinet and also with families of hostages. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's not over yet. It's 39, lots of rain on radar. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:02. It's mostly rain that hit the state with a winter weather system that moved through overnight. Far northern parts of the state got a little over an inch of snow, though. Looking ahead.
It will be a strong to, actually, as it gets by us, a very strong winter storm with very low pressure.
Alex McGinnis with the National Weather Service. Governor Holcomb will deliver his State of the State address tonight at around 7 o'clock. It'll be his final address. He laid out most of his legislative agenda for lawmakers on Monday. Democrats are rolling out an agenda of their own as lawmakers get the ball rolling on this year's General Assembly.
When I look around at communities across Indiana, I don't see freedom.
That's why House Minority Leader Phil Giaquinta is putting forth Democrats' economic freedom agenda. Speaking to lawmakers in the House chamber Monday, he proposed some of the usual, like raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour, but also proposed immediate action on property tax relief. A well-known automotive supply company has laid off more employees. Donnie Burgess reports.
The Borg-Warner facility in Kokomo will lose nearly 100 workers, which was expected after the last round of layoffs in October. Now, the company doesn't provide a concrete explanation, but more layoffs are expected by the summer. Borg-Warner employs over 52,000 people around the world. The name is also plastered on the trophy handed out at the end of the Indianapolis 500. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
An escaped inmate from a work detail in Grant County has been caught. Charles Gerstorf escaped Monday from Grant County Sheriff's deputies and was later tracked down in Indianapolis at a motel. Indiana Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle says his team has to be mentally strong.
We've been a together group. We've got to stay together. We've got to have a very strong collective determination
with each game.
Certainly after last night's victory over the Celtics, in which Tyrese Halliburton left the game early with a leg injury. I'm Kirk Darling on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Winter is here, and if you've already had enough of the cold drafts blowing through your old windows, bundling up in layers of clothes and blankets, and hearing the heat turn on for the 5th time this hour, then it's time to talk to the pros at Window Nation. Replacing those old windows with quality, energy-efficient ones from Window Nation is easier and more affordable than you think. Right now through the end of the month, replace the windows in your home and pay no interest for 5 years. That's a great deal, and on top of that, Window Nation is also giving you 50% off all window styles.
Window Nation's professional installation means your windows will fit right, so you won't have to worry about leaky, dirty windows and those cold drafts letting out your heat anymore. Don't wait. With 0 interest for 5 years, why not give Window Nation a look? Let Window Nation show you all the options to fit your needs and budget. It's easy. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC, it is the Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. Let's go to the WIBC hotline. Joined by one of the best in the business. She covers the Indiana State House like none other. The great Nikki Kelly from the Indiana Capitol Chronicle. All right, Nikki, so session started yesterday with the Indiana General Assembly. I always picture this like Christmas morning for someone of your reporting expertise.
We like to call it more like the first day of school, like we got some agendas yesterday, which are sort of like your syllabus when you went to your first day of school, and but very exciting.
What do the Republicans, because obviously they control everything, so that's kind of who we're talking about. What is their agenda this time? It doesn't seem like there's any really big issues out there. I know there's some education stuff, but is there a theme of the legislative session this year for the Republicans?
I think the theme is get out quick. That seems to be what it is.
Or retire.
Yeah. We're not going to see anything bold or transformational. They're really doing some smaller fine-tuning. Having said that, the one thing that I do think is pretty interesting is this look at reading proficiency and holding back more third graders who can't read at an acceptable level. I mean, we're talking 8,000 children, and so that will be a bit of a flashpoint, I think.
How much sway does Holcomb have on this session? I mean, they've been really subservient to him over the past 7 years, but he's on his way out the door. This is something that appears to be a priority for him. But like you said, Nikki, they want to get out quick, but 8,000 plus kids are going to be affected by this. Where does the governor come down on all of this?
I mean, the governor announced that he definitely wants to attack the third grade reading proficiency issue yesterday by holding more students back. The bill that's filed in the Senate is, I would say, bare bones at most. It doesn't say that. It sort of wants a little more study and wants to leave some stuff up to the Indiana Department of Education. So, I mean, the two approaches, at least, that were outlined briefly yesterday seem pretty far apart.
Nikki, is any of this going to affect the budget? He says he wants to do this study. Are they going to have to reintroduce anything for the budget?
I don't think so. I think they're staying pretty much away from budget issues. The only thing that came out yesterday was House Republicans are really pushing a 13th check for public retirees. Basically, they passed that last year. The Senate balked, and they did the budget for the first time in my history that didn't have either a 13th check or a COLA to help retirees deal with inflation. It was very negatively received, especially because they have a dedicated fund sitting there with money there to pay it. And so they could probably still do that and not impact the budget because of the special account they have for retirees.
Nikki Kelly, our guest from the Indiana Capitol Chronicle. The Indiana General Assembly started their 2024 session yesterday. All right, Nikki, so you have been in the State House for a very, very long time. You started when you were 9, so you're in your 20s now, and we think you've done a phenomenal job all these years covering.
What percentage of lawmakers do you think actually have any idea when it comes to education? Because I maintain they do things quite a bit where I say any person who actually was on the ground, inside of classrooms, around school boards or administration consistently would never do these things. What percentage do you think actually have any idea when they pass these laws what they're doing?
Well, I think I'm going to say the vast majority of them do their best to learn about the topics. The education committees obviously have a much more, robust knowledge of how things work. And they do listen to a lot of stakeholders involved in the education world. I think what it's going to come down to, at least on the reading stuff and maybe a little bit on chronic absenteeism, is whether they're going to let schools sort of decide on their own what to do with the students or be a little more prescriptive.
How much accountability do you think they take? I mean, these are the people who were responsible for shutting down the schools.
Yeah, that's a hard one because even Governor Holcomb said yesterday in his agenda, he basically made a statement of he's staying away from the chronic absenteeism. I mean, he's willing to be open to a discussion, but it was not part of his agenda. But he said he basically wants to beg parents to send their kids back to school and to let them know, look, it's not COVID anymore. They can't learn if they're not there, and we need to get them back there.
Nikki Kelly, our guest from the Indiana Capital Chronicle. All right, did anybody acknowledge that, hey, there's this gigantic $1 billion Medicaid shortfall, or is that something we just did in a press release and we'll act like it didn't happen?
Yeah, that didn't really come up yesterday. I mean, the fact
Surprise!
is that the Medicaid issue is a long-term issue. They've got an oversight committee already looking into how to curb costs. And we did have, between our rainy day savings and some, efficiencies we can do in the next year, they feel like it's basically already taken care of.
The Democrats came out with their agenda, and I feel like we live in the bizarro world because Phil Giaquinta over there at the House side, one of his top priorities was helping people with property taxes. And I'm saying, wait a second, the Democrats are now concerned with property taxes. Anything from the Republicans on that, Nikki?
No.
No.
Well, not an agenda item. There are indeed bills filed that we've seen already by Republicans to try to help lawmakers, but they're not priority items. They're largely items that would affect how often you reassess someone's home, things like that, some additional help for veterans in their homes, things like that. So there are some individual bills, but as a whole, they are not going there.
What is the direction of the Republican Party this session? Like, is the goal literally, hey, let's get out, let's not do any harm, and then we'll let the next governor, whether it's Braun or Crouch or Doden or whoever, set the agenda? It kind of sounds like that's where they're going this year. This is the equivalent of, hey, let's just punt the football, and then we'll play some defense, and then next year we'll go back on offense.
Yep, totally. They want to get out. They've all got elections to deal with. They, probably want a few things to be able to run on, but they feel like they have enough in the last 2, 4, 6, 8 years to run on regardless.
Before we let you go, you have a new piece over there at Indiana Capital Chronicle. I mean, it seems like there have been just a ton of resignations, or people either not finishing their term or people announcing they will finish their term but not running again. Obviously, Larry Bouchon was the big one that came out yesterday. He's not in the Indiana General Assembly. He's a U.S. congressman. But you had a piece that said this isn't all that unusual.
No, I mean, there's a great website called Capitol in Washington, and they have tracked departures from the legislature going back to, I think, 1968. And when you look at like a 2-year cycle, because the House members serve 2 years, Senate 4, you're normally looking at 13 people who, don't run again. So they decide not to seek reelection. And we're only at like 7 or 8. So and we'll see a few more before the filing deadline. I think it's just a cyclical thing. Most of the people who are not running again have been there for years and years, and it's just time for them to retire.
Mm-hmm.
Are you surprised at Bouchon? I mean, not that he's not running, but that he waited until it's the first of the year. I mean, you usually, as a courtesy, kind of give people a chance to get campaigns up and try to get donors. It's now like a mad dash to file and get the resources.
Yeah, I was absolutely surprised by that yesterday. And the first thing we did was go talk to Senator Greg Good, because he ran for the Bouchon seat before Bouchon. And you got to think of like the world of horrible timing. He was literally caucused into the state Senate in August, or I think October maybe. So yesterday was his first day, and he finds out the seat that he wanted years ago is now available.
You are one of the best in the business. I guess we're going to do this every week. You've been kind enough to agree to do that. Keep us up to date on what's going on with the Indiana General Assembly. Nikki Kelly, Indiana Capitol Chronicle, you're the best. Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
Thanks. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Tony Katz.
I alphabetized my soundboard. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. F?
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
I have to go to S for Sopranos. Makes sense.
Yeah, I think you got it.
It's so clean now. It's fantastic. Yeah, we have a copay plan. This is not a government-sponsored health insurance plan. So if you're uninsured, recently lost your job, on COBRA, or are paying extremely high rates for Obamacare or your work coverage, George and Megan will help you if you meet the flexible guidelines for health insurance. YourCoverage.net will provide you the best coverage at the lowest rate. Their goal is to give you peace of mind and the utmost in healthcare. Go to YourCoverage.net and see for yourself, or better yet, call George and Megan at 1-800-491-5500. That's 1-800-491-5500. Or go to YourCoverage.net. That's YourCoverage.net, a premium personalized healthcare plan managed and designed by you, not the government.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today.
Look out, Indiana. The Big Beer Barons are belly up at the State House, demanding another round of special privileges to increase profits, lock out competition, and raise prices for consumers. Big beer wholesalers already have a sweetheart monopoly on beer sales. Now they want the state to let them unfairly sell even more products. And that's not right. It's time to crack the monopoly and free the beer. Learn more at freethebeer.com. Paid for by Wine and Spirits Distributors of Indiana.
The Indy Golf Expo is back January 19th through 21st at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Buy a player's tour pass and get bonuses while they last. Tickets at ingolfexpo.com.
It's the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Mr. Bellin, will you take the ceremonial shovel?
Thank you.
And dig into the symbolic dirt.
I hereby dedicate this building to myself.
Good morning. It is 18 minutes after 10 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So it happened yesterday. Representative Larry Bouchon, he announced he's going to retire once his term is up next year. He said, Scripture teaches us for everything there is a season.
What scriptures say about printing a bunch of money and spending money that isn't yours and legalized vote buying? Anything in the scripture about, like, I'm talking trillions of dollars. This blew my mind, Casey. So this guy Bouchon, he's been there, 12 years, 13 years?
Since 2011.
Yeah, okay, so I'm right in the ballpark there. And this guy has been a total detriment to the U.S. taxpayer. He has been responsible for massive growth of government, massive growth in government spending, magical money printing factory galore, both in the majority and the minority, really, really dislikes Donald Trump. And you would have thought with this resignation that a world leader had passed away or something. I mean, the outpouring, and this is it's a real perspective on the Republican Party in Indiana, because I kept seeing, oh, we're so going to miss this incredible conservative leader. Well, that is, if Larry Bouchon is the definition of conservative in the Republican Party now, Exhibit A on why I want nothing to do with the modern Indiana Republican Party. This guy did nothing that resembled conservatism, added, at this point, probably $10 trillion to the nation's debt. I don't know exactly what the number is at this point. I'd have to go look at his individual voting record. But he was basically a lockstep establishment stooge who did whatever party leadership told him to do. And people are just beside themselves inside the Republican Party that this guy's quitting, and this phony baloney bullcrap about what a conservative he was. I was just blown away at the responses. And I don't, these political people, some of them are consultants and they want jobs, and some of them are politicians and they want to move up or curry favor. But it's like, are you just saying that to better your own lot in life? Or are you saying that because genuinely in your mind, adding trillions of dollars to the nation's debt, irresponsible spending, irresponsible growth of government, repeatedly falling on the sword for people like Kevin McCarthy, that's now the version of conservatism in the state of Indiana? Good riddance to this guy. I'd be excited about it, Casey, but the problem is they're probably going to put somebody worse.
Right, who's going to fill the spot. So he represents Indiana's 8th congressional district, and so he's one of 11 that have announced that they're leaving. He said that the recent disputes in Congress have not negatively impacted his view of government, but talk about being, not fiscally conservative. Todd Young tweeted out.
Oh!
Yeah, and he said, Larry Bouchon and I came to Congress at the same time. It's been an honor working alongside him for more than a decade, and that Southwest Indiana could not have chosen a better advocate, a better lawmaker, or a better person. I wish him the very best in his next chapter. It's one of those in his future endeavors.
Can you think of a person whose endorsement or support you'd want less than Todd Young?
They're on the same page, right?
Sure.
They like spending money.
They absolutely agree.
Bosom buddies.
They are entitled. Larry Bouchon, Jim Baird, Todd Young, Spendingberg, all of these people believe they're entitled to your stuff. And if they run out of your stuff, which is what they do, then they proceed to spend your children's stuff and your grandchildren's stuff and your great-grandchildren's stuff. We're probably like to great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren at this point. These people are all gross. Larry Bouchon is a loser. I'm so glad he's out of there. And like I said, the only problem is, no doubt, they will put somebody worse than him in that position. The Republicans always go all in to protect these sort of people. And you were gone, obviously, yesterday. And so we had this conversation with Brad, and we started the show with the Republicans. Johnson, the Speaker of the House, who Jim Banks told us what a phenomenal guy he was, just like Kevin McCarthy, cut this deal with Schumer. And, hey, it's the Biden-McCarthy spending levels. Once again, we're on time 1, 2, 3, 4, where the Republican Party has looked the American people in the eye and lied to them about spending. They've lied to them about inflation. They've lied about them reigning in government. These people are sociopathic and totally narcissistic in their view of harming you. They don't care about you at all. And it's this, I can't use that phrase, it's this group pat on the back. When one of these guys quits, you know what I was going to say.
Thank you for changing it.
It's this group pat on the back when one of these guys quits, as though some great dignitary is leaving or some great loss to the American people is gonna incur. What is the signature accomplishment of Larry Bouchon? He's been there 13 years. Off the top of your head, ready?
Yeah.
Can you imagine in your job? Can you imagine in this job that you have right here, for 13 years, being completely mediocre and totally forgettable, and on your way out the door, people sobbing into their handkerchiefs over the fact that you're totally forgettable, totally mediocre, totally no accomplishment whatsoever, career is coming to an end. Well, they would run us out in 6 weeks if we broadcast the way Larry Bouchon governed.
I was gone for 1 day and you missed me. Okay, so the difference, though, between what he's doing and what the reps within the state of Indiana are doing, because he's in the federal Congress, he's actually going to serve till the end of the term.
Yes, that's correct.
Which is different than what happens here in the state of Indiana.
Yes, when we got into this a little bit with Nikki Kelly, but There is a major, major issue in the state. I think it's a bigger problem than Nikki Kelly does. When you have, let's just take the whatever it's called now. It used to be the auditor. Now it's called the comptroller. Where you have someone like Tara Klutz who runs for re-election. And so, you would assume if someone's running for re-election, barring some sort of health crisis, the job is a 4-year commitment. You're voting for that person to be that position for 4 years. And basically 6 months in, she says, I've kind of had enough of this. So who's the replacement? A hand-picked stooge by the governor, Elise Nishala, who used to be super conservative, then sold everybody out because she wanted to curry favor with Holcomb and was in Holcomb TV ads and did a terrible job as the Boone County Council president, and just got beat at a convention the year before where she wanted to be in another office. So it's not like she thought, I'd be the best at this job. She just tried to be the state treasurer and couldn't be that. And this woman gets to be one of the highest elected offices in the state of Indiana for 3.5 years without a single person casting a vote in her direction. It happens. They tried to do it with Connie Lawson, where she quit as Secretary of State in the middle of her term, and people hated Holcomb so much that they voted for Diego. I don't know how you would have chosen between Holcomb and Diego. That is a choice I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. But we just have a horrific crisis of leadership in this state. Brad and I talked about this yesterday. Who in positions of power that have the ability to do something, do you look around and go, I'm really glad that person's there. That person's doing a hell of a job, Casey. That person's a bulldog on behalf of the people of Indiana. Who?
No one. Yeah. I mean, you're left blank. You can't fill in that blank. But Micah mentioned it earlier. He said he's afraid that they don't have any fight left in them. And Larry Bouchon said that it became clear to him over the holiday that it was time to bring his season of public service to a conclusion. So does that mean he's one of the people that doesn't have any fight in him? And something that should scare you even more is that Jim Banks tweeted out, and he said that his great friend and mentor was retiring, and he wished him well.
Well, remember, we had Abdul on last week, and if anybody knows the establishment, I think we could say Abdul is the expert on who is in and out of the establishment in the Indiana Republican Party. And remember, we were talking about it with him, and he just totally chuckled and goes, "Oh yeah, Jim Banks has been a member of the establishment for years. We just don't talk about it publicly." And Jim has totally shown what he is the past couple of years, as he's totally been on bended knee and kissed the McCarthy and now Holcomb and Hupfer ring finger. But these people, we don't give these people a reason to fear us. And this is the biggest problem. It's a problem in this state. It's a problem nationally. These people believe, and they've been proven correct many, many times, that we are so apathetic. I mean, let's face it. Many people over the weekend put more time into that Colts game than they will for the entire year of learning about their government and the people making decisions about them. And these politicians are predators, Casey. They eat everything they come in contact with. That's how you survive, and that's how you move up the ladder. And they recognize if the people aren't going to stand up for themselves, if the people aren't going to hold us accountable, then why would we do anything to piss off the people who have the money and the power, because they are the ones who will hold us accountable if we don't do their bidding?
Well, there are one thing that I think he does need some credit for. One, he's a veteran, so we should thank him for his service. But the other one, is this a little bit of self-awareness? I mean, he's saying his time as a public servant is done. Maybe he doesn't have the fight in him anymore. So good. At least he's recognizing it's time for him to step down.
But
he's not helping the people of Indiana.
But he's never had the fight, period. There's never anything Larry Bouchon's done where you're like, dude, that guy totally went to the mat for the taxpayers. Like, I mean, if you talk about guys like Rand Paul or Thomas Massey or Matt Gaetz, even if you don't agree with everything they've done or said or accomplished or lack thereof, you look at those guys and go, those dudes at various times have taken very hard, controversial stands, and they have been in a vast minority at times, but they have done it because they believe it's the right thing for the citizens of the country. There are so few people in the United States Congress that are doing that. There are so few people at the Indiana General Assembly that are doing that, and they're getting away with it because of us. It's easy for us to come on here and whine and complain about these politicians because they are awful, but ultimately, we are the cause of it.
We refuse to hold these people accountable. There are going to be so many people, Casey, who are going to go vote for Mike Braun for governor, despite the fact that he voted for the largest tax increase in state history, that he voted for more than 40 other tax increases in 2017, despite the fact that he's literally spitting in your face and laughing at you on these stupid ads he's running that are more for a U.S. Senate race than governor. But he's going to win.
That's because people know his name, and change is scary, and they're comfortable with something they recognize.
You know what else people are comfortable with that they recognize?
Kurt Darling?
Kurt Darling in the news.
He's up next. It's 93 WIBC.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight, and his cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend lost 20 pounds her first 2 months.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late night eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Seminars Thursday, January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, January 27th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Arguing in court, nothing but rain on radar. It's 40 degrees downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:31. A federal appeals court is considering whether Donald Trump is immune from prosecution on charges he illegally tried to overturn the 2020 election. The former president was in a D.C. courtroom today. His lawyers say that his efforts in 2020 were within the presidential duties he had and are therefore protected by presidential immunity. Governor Holcomb delivers his State of the State address tonight as lawmakers move further into the legislative session. Republican State Senator Cindy Carrasco is new to the State House. She introduced a bill that deals with disaster relief funds, and she hopes other Republicans are focused on public safety.
I hope to see bills coming out of this session that are going to make lives for Hoosiers better in very concrete ways.
Carrasco's bill would simplify the disaster relief process and offer you more money during a time of emergency. The Michigan Wolverines are on top of the college football world, pulling off a victory in yesterday's national championship game. Michigan defeated Washington 34-13 at NRG Stadium in Houston. The Wolverines claiming their first national title since 1997. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Your financial life is about way more than investments. There's also taxes, insurance, estate planning, and other elements that need to be considered. Find out what your financial plan may be missing with a free wealth path analysis from Creative Planning. A wealth path analysis is a blueprint for your completely customized plan, built to maximize your wealth and ensure all aspects of your wealth are working harder together. This offer is only good till Monday at midnight. That's creativeplanning.com/radio.
Hey guys, it's Rob from my incredible friends at Life Church. We love Life Church in our family. They have had such an amazing impact on my life, on my wife's life, on my daughter's life. And one of the great things we love about Life Church is how you feel like family from the moment you walk in the door. You're not just a number. You are someone special, and they care about you at Life Church. Life Church would so love the opportunity to meet and welcome you and your family this Sunday. They make it easy for you. Campuses all across central Indiana, Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton, plus amazing online services. Learn more about all of it at lifechurchin.com.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. It's our 97th annual New Year's sale. Save 50% off on all Lazy Boy and Smith Brothers of Bern. Save an extra $100 off on every Sealy mattress and Ultra Comfort lift chair, and get up to 4 years interest-free financing on every Tempur-Pedic and Stearns & Foster mattress. New Year's sale ends Saturday, January 20th, only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Every year, millions of people find a health plan at healthcare.gov during open enrollment. They enjoy more doctor visits, pick up prescriptions, and find the care they need. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 a month or less with financial help. Final deadline to enroll is January 16th. Healthcare.gov is here for millions like you, paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I stopped smoking with Mark Patrick's hypnosis when nothing else worked. 1 year later, my wife Michelle and I attended the Mark Patrick Weight Loss Hypnosis Seminar. In 2 months, lost 43 pounds, and she lost 18 pounds.
And we feel great. Seminars January 25th at the Holiday Inn, Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or January 27th, Holiday Inn Express and Suites Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC. It's time to hear from you. Kendall and Casey present Voicemails. Brought to you by QC Kinetics for non-surgical regenerative medicine treatments at 317-559-PAIN.
The phone number, if you'd like to contribute, 317-684-8444. It is 10:36 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC, and it's time for your voicemail. So Brad Kloppensteinstein was filling in for me the past couple days, and apparently you guys had a conversation about Donald Trump at some point.
We did.
Yeah. Okay, so somebody wanted to call and actually give Brad some props on something that he said.
So if somebody is saying that President Trump has incited insurrection, we need the definition of insurrection because that didn't happen. Number two, what is Blow Boy doing? The old dementia boy is inciting anything and everything possible, but they're overlooking all that and not charging him with anything, not even wanting to look at anything that he's even saying. Everything that he says, it's lie after lie after lie. Fact check. Been done. I can't believe it. Well, I can believe it. Anyway, Brad Kloppensteinstein, you're awesome.
Okay, so where did it go? Did you guys agree? Did you not agree? Did Brad behave?
We were talking about January 6th, and I will give Brad credit.
Yeah.
I think Brad learned a very valuable lesson from the day I had to depants poor Ethan. And I think Brad decided to, with good judgment, kind of back off some of his high-level thoughts.
Yeah.
Because, Casey, you have, and the blonde lady before you was good at this too, you know when it starts with me. Like, you can see it physically when I begin to transform into something I'm not.
When you start hulking out.
Proud of.
Yeah.
When it's brought on normally by the politicians. I think I kind of did it last segment where I'm always like, it's cool, Casey. We can talk about loser Larry Bashan, and I'll be calm and nice about it. And then I get going, and I just can't. I despise these people so much that I'm in, and I've recognized this.
And normally you try and direct it towards them.
Well, right,
not the person in the studio.
No. But you knew. I don't think you knew to the extent I tried to warn you when they hired you. But like Mock knew before you, this is what you get with me. I'm a wonderful human being about 99% of my existence, and off the air I'm great. But I have this trigger mechanism when I start thinking about what these scumbags in Washington, D.C. and at the state capitol down the street from us, and even in our local communities, which we'll get to that next hour, what they have done to this incredible nation, and how they have just stood in the way of
American exceptionalism and how they're just the cause of so much heartache and hardship that's going on that is totally needless, and it is of their actions. And there is something that pulls that mechanism, and I am in, I'm fine, right? Like, I'm not going to do something that's going to put me in a post office or on a watch list, but and Brad saw that beginning to develop. We were having a conversation about Trump and January 6th. I think he wisely remembered how it ended for Ethan, and
he backed off.
And age and wisdom saw Kloffenstein say, this is not going to end well, and he did a very nice job.
So I think that...
Kev, is that not a fair assessment of what... you're the neutral observer. You were here yesterday. Is that a fair assessment?
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I'm just glad someone didn't call Brad a punk, like that one voicemail we got that one time.
Well, I think that caller was talking about Joe Biden. Of course, he was at the Mother Emanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina yesterday, and we're going to get to that after 11 o'clock. But then I think it was on Friday, he gave that speech that was very fiery, and he was very passionate, and he was yelling at times. And I was going back and forth with one of my girlfriends, Courtney, and we were talking about the different candidates who are running, and what do you think of this person and that person? And I asked her, what did you think about that speech from Biden? And she kind of expressed the same thing that I'm feeling, like I just can't even anymore with him. And she said I couldn't even watch it just because of his rhetoric, and it's like past the point of even wanting to hear it.
Well, Brad and I had this conversation yesterday about how disinterested people are in politics. And it goes back to what we kind of talked about the last segment, and why people don't engage in politics. And a big part of it is that, like, when you look at the choices, and good people simply do not want to be involved, and they say to steal a phrase from you, the juice is not worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
Like, if you're some sort of, and I used to run into this all the time, where like prominent business people who I thought, man, you'd be great at serving on this board or this commission, and they would simply say, not going to do it. And a great example of this, I had a guy who was a local dentist in town. He was totally non-political, and I said, you will be perfect for this specific board and commission because it deals with analytical people who will make the right choice and keep politics out of this thing that's getting politicized. And he was against it. I said, look, I'll protect you. It'll be fine. I won't put anything too hot button on your plate. And he said, okay, I'll do it. And I might have fibbed to him a little bit because I really wanted him to do it. And I put something really hot button on his plate, and he made the right choice. He made the correct choice that an analytical person who takes the politics out of something would, and it proved to be very successful. But it pissed off a bunch of people, primarily in the school system at the time, and they start going into this guy's dentist office and they're patients of his and going, you better correct this or we're not going to come here anymore. And he finally came to me at the end of the year and said, I'm not doing this anymore because it's not worth losing business. And so what you get, to go back to the conversation we had last segment, you get just losers and leeches and liars and sewer dwellers who get into politics because they don't have anything to lose. You don't get super prominent, business people who want to do it because they have something to lose. You get these people who not only they have nothing to lose, they have everything to gain. So they suck up and cozy up to these donors and lobbyists and people who can help enrich them, both in some cases monetarily and in power structure.
Well, the latest Gallup poll shows that there is not a single top U.S. government official who currently has an approval rating over 50%.
What was that again?
It's Gallup poll.
Who was it though?
There's not a single top U.S. government official that has an approval rating over 50%.
Well, how could they?
Right.
Look at the country.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, if these people ran your business, if you're driving down the road right now and you're a business owner or you're somebody who works for a business, doesn't matter. If you're a business owner and you hired these people who run our government, both state and federal, to run your business, how long would you be in business? Think about down the street from us. They made $1 billion mistake on Medicaid.
Right.
And to my knowledge, no one has been fired.
And are they talking about it?
They're not talking about it.
They're saying it's going to be not controversial this session. How about the money that's just poof?
Because they will wait until they get reelected, and then next year under the new governor, they will move for, they'll probably use a term like revenue enhancement, tax increases.
Right.
And they recognize, what are you going to do about it? If you work for a company, would you want Joe Biden or Chuck Schumer or
this Johnson guy or Kevin McCarthy running running the company that you depend on to earn your living? Of course, the answer is no. No one would want these people.
All right. Hey, we have another call. Gert called.
Oh.
We haven't heard from her in a while, so it's time.
Hey, dudes. It's Gert. Listening to you Monday. I need to remind you of what the singer, comedian Gary Muledeer said his grandpa said. Politicians should serve 2 terms. The first term in office, the second term in prison. And I do believe there's a lot of truth in that. Keep up the good work. Love you all. Bye.
Who said that? Which comedian?
Gary someone. It doesn't matter. It's spot on.
I
It's
wonder
Gert.
if there's like audio of that. That'd be a great liner.
You should get on that as our producer.
I'm going to check it out.
You do some research.
This would involve you having to do some actual work, Kevin, but I think you can handle it.
I can do it.
All right, we've got Hammer who's going to join us next. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. We've got the biggest stories in Indy, and somebody may take a drink of alcohol. Shocking, I know. 93 WIBC.
Hoosiers embody the American spirit. Settlers who refuse to settle, and pioneers who aren't near done blazing trails. Hoosiers for Opportunity, Prosperity, and Enterprise are joining the working men and women of Indiana to build a state where freedom and growth are promoted, and life, liberty, and property are protected. Hoosiers for Opportunity, Prosperity, and Enterprise believes in a common-sense approach to improving the Hoosier state. Simple yet exceptional ideas like empowering individuals to make their own choices with their hard-earned money and encouraging free enterprise so people can succeed. Hoosiers for Opportunity, Prosperity, and Enterprise also knows we can help students achieve by embracing educational choice and help families live fuller lives by making healthcare freedom a reality in Indiana. If you want to join the voices of other Hoosiers who share your common sense ideas for Indiana's future, visit HoosierHope.org. That's HoosierHope.org. Paid for by Hope, Inc.
Has the holiday season left you overwhelmed, stressed out, and overweight? Do you feel frustrated when you think about what you need to do to be healthy and feel better? You deserve a simple approach to a stronger, healthier, and more enjoyable life. Exercise Inc. has been helping people in Central Indiana reach their health and fitness goals for 20 years. The approach is simple. Strength train with a certified coach once a week for 20 minutes. Adopt the 9 simple habits you need to follow to change your health and lose weight. Then get out there and enjoy life, because you'll be stronger and have more energy, and you're going to feel better, and you'll lose weight, and you'll probably even look better too. And you may even be able to get off of some of those prescription medications. Exercise Inc., Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, and now in Fishers. The studios are private, no mirrors, no music, and no spandex. Just you and a professional coach working to reach your goals for the new year. Go to exerciseinc.com today to sign up for a free consultation.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. We recently saved a 50-year-old couple over $300 per month when compared to their old individual plan. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 per month when compared to their quote on healthcare.gov. We are now entering the crazy enrollment season when our federal government will spend millions telling us that healthcare.gov is our only good option for quality health care. Whether it's called healthcare.gov, Affordable Care Act, or it's still Obamacare, don't let the federal government or their big insurance company cronies tell you that you don't have a choice. Give us a call at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-563-0868 or rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. Quoting the great Dr. Duke Tomato, Lord, please help our cults. And as always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
Christmas has come and gone. You got some great gifts, and now you're realizing you've got new firearms, and you may not need all those old firearms. Now is the time to talk to Premier Arms in Brownsburg. Check out the buy room and find out how much you can get for your used firearms. They're the best at giving top dollar for your used firearms. Talk to Premier Arms today. 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg. 317-858-3030 and online at premierarms.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob, and I don't know if you're paying attention. Well, we've had a pretty warm winter thus far. It is about to get cold. At least that's what the experts say. Do not suffer through one more winter in a cold and drafty home. The incredible folks at Universal Windows Direct can take care of that for you. Universal Windows have this incredible technology. It's developed by NASA called Super Spacer. It helps keep the edge of the glass warmer, holds the window seal longer, and makes the windows last up to 5 times longer than other Windows systems. Universal backs up all their work with a true lifetime warranty for as long as you own your home, plus 30 years to the next homeowner. Think that's a good selling point when you decide to sell your home? I think so. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Buy 2, get 2 free, plus a free upgrade to triple pane glass, and they'll double your energy tax credit. Tell them I told you to call and get an additional $250 off your project. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to universalwindowsdirect.com, universalwindowsdirect.com.
Guys, it's a new year. Low T Center can make it a great one if you've been feeling tired and grumpy, have noticed a lack of motivation and drive. You may have low T. Low testosterone levels can cause weight gain, loss of muscle mass, and so much more.
At the Low T Center, they make it quick and easy to get your levels checked, and it's only $25. And with their on-site lab, you're going to get results back in about 25 minutes. Go to lowtcenter.com right now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Guy Relford here. Time again for the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show this coming weekend at the State Fairgrounds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's never been a more important time to exercise our rights as true Americans. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See the best in sporting, hunting, and personal protection gear, plus great displays of Americana. Come see us this weekend at the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show, Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See you there.
Want to find out what real retirement planning is all about? Tune in to Expedition Retirement with Greg Ayler, Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
Head to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see A Flock of Seagulls. Friday, January 26th at Old National Center. For more info, head to WIBC.com.
9 minutes away from 11 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. And Hammer joins us in the studio. So last night after winning the national champion, the college football game, Harbaugh said he can now sit at the big person's table in his family. His dad won a national championship. His brother won a Super Bowl. A little pressure there on Jimmy to win.
I understand how genetics work. I totally do. It's not shocking that children look like their parents.
Yeah.
But if you look at the Harbaugh dad, it's like Jim Harbaugh in costume.
Yeah.
Like, you remember when Jackass, when Johnny Knoxville would dress up as an old man? It just looked like an old man Johnny Knoxville. That's the Harbaugh dad.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks identical like Jim. Not so much John, really, but like everything is Jim. He's just old man with more wrinkles. It's amazing.
And I do have to give you full credit. I placed a bet. I had actually planned a different bet. I changed my bet based on you because you were so adamant this would happen. So I ended up going with Michigan on the money line. I was going to take Washington with the points. You talked me out of it, and everything you said was going to happen in that game. So even though I hate you, I have to give you credit for that. You were spot on about that Michigan defensive line and exactly how that game was going to go.
Michigan's defensive line bullied Alabama around. And I know everybody loves Michael Penix, and I like Michael Penix too. Good kid, great family, but there was no way that Washington offensive line was going to hold up for 4 quarters against what Michigan was going to do. And same way on the other side of the ball. The Michigan offensive line, just people movers.
Yeah.
I mean, they bullied Washington, and Michigan's the winner until the NCAA comes back and says we're going to vacate that championship here in about 2 years.
There's a strong likelihood that's going to happen, right? I mean, they're not going to let them just have this, given how Harbaugh and those guys keep
It'll go in the same closet as the Fab Five Final Four banners that had to come down due to allegations.
Did USC have to vacate one too in football? Isn't that right?
I know Reggie Bush had to vacate a Heisman.
Maybe that's what it was.
I'm not sure if they had to vacate a title.
Real quick, we got to point this out. Casey keeps in. I accidentally kept texting Casey thinking I was texting you, and man, thankfully I didn't say anything egregious.
Look at the rack on Casey in this picture.
And so finally,
Thanks, Rob.
we just ended up in a group chat together.
Well, I figured once was a mistake, twice was an invitation in your little group text. So
And
you actually wanted me to participate.
And so then...
Were you drinking?
No!
Because I expect that kind of thing from Nigel.
No. It was like I was babysitting or daddy daycaring and was just, half paying attention. I was texting both of you while the football game was on, and I just kept texting her thinking I was texting you, and thankfully it wasn't anything inappropriate, which is rare. But Casey then decided to take over this group chat, and you are incessantly trying to get us to care about Hollywood and these actors, and we don't care.
No, I'm not. The whole conversation started with Hammer listing the NFL quarterback hair rankings. And so that led us down a path
But then you launched
of
into these
attractive
obscure
men.
actors who we have no idea who they are. We kept telling you we don't know and we don't care.
Now, let me start here, just because people are wondering, why in the hell would you tweet that? We were talking about how Trevor Lawrence laid an egg.
Yeah.
And, even though he's got like a solid hair game, do you want to give that guy an extension? So that conversation spawned who's got the best hair for starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
And then she launches it, and it's not like she's talking about Tom Cruise or Robert De Niro or, Sylvester Stallone or people you might know. She's like, Larry Jones.
No, his name is Jeremy Allen White, because you guys were talking about good-looking men, and I was trying to help you and educate you on who the new hot it guys are right now.
Yeah, we're not into dudes.
According to the younger women.
And who's he the starting quarterback for?
Like you kept...
He's the starting quarterback for the TV show The Bear.
And then we were like, we have no idea who this guy is. We have no idea what this show is. We're not into dudes. Like, this is a sports-only chat, which is why you were included in the thing to begin with.
And all I said was, listen, I'm a little jealous of the hair game. That I wish I had Trevor Lawrence's hair.
Yeah.
I wish I had Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert's hair. I'm thinking about calling Rob's people because I got a little monkey's butt brewing here in the back.
We grow hair, Indy. And Hammer was trying to be, by Hammer standards, so nice.
He was being very nice.
He sent you that Chris Farley gif of him going, no idea, which I know for Hammer is like his ramp up to the next one's going to be explosive rage. And you came in today and you were like, did you see who won the such and such award? No, we don't care, lady. We don't care.
It was just the timing, because we were randomly talking about that actor, and
You
then
were
that
talking
night,
about it.
he
If
won
I've ever
2 Golden
watched this
Globes.
guy on the Golden Globes, the answer is no.
He
no.
looks just like Gene Wilder. Seriously, it's scary. You got to Google him. Jeremy Allen White is his name.
Sounds like that serial killers always have 3 names, right?
No idea.
What's coming up this afternoon?
Biggest stories of the day and some shenanigans.
All right, thanks, Hammer. It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds, and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day and nothing worked until Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick Hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again, my blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars. Early bird special only $49.99. Thursday, January 25th, Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 5:30. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, January 27th, Holiday Inn Express and Suites Noblesville. Weight loss 11 a.m. Stop smoking 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com. Dents happen. There's a whole lot of stuff that can mess up the look of your vehicle. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Kill a Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. Hail baseballs, kids, fender benders, shopping carts, flying cows, angry exes, and anything else that leaves dents. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal.
Roofs leak, pipes burst, and toilets overflow. When you're in over your head, Michaelis keeps theirs. A rescue-ready water damage team that responds around the clock. With more than 35 years of experience, they're wet everywhere. Except behind the ears. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Oh, this cold.
Honey?
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Now I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Build the water system of your dreams with C&J's unbelievable multiple discounts. Save up to $750. C&J at 317-733-SOFT or cnjwater.com.
This Saturday is the AAA Vacation Expo at the JW Marriott. It's free and no membership needed. Details and a chance to win $500 in travel vouchers at aaa.com/expo.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Ryan Hedrick reports on what was and what will be with the weather. Plus, another member of Congress plans to call it quits. And the unique reason this man in Evansville is out of a job. That and more coming up from the Technology Recyclers Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
He's letting his lawyer do the talking. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Former President Trump is in an appeals courtroom in Washington trying to get a 2020 election-related criminal case dropped.
Nobody has contended that the president's immune from prosecution for purely private conduct. The question is, can he be indicted for official acts?
Trump attorney John Sauer also told the judges that they do not grant the former president immunity. It opens Pandora's box.
Could President Obama be potentially charged with murder for allegedly authorizing drone strikes targeting U.S. citizens located abroad?
The government's lawyer arguing against Trump immunity, James Pierce, told the court the indictment is justified and the March trial should go forward.
Never before has there been allegations that a sitting president has, with private individuals and using the levers of power, sought to fundamentally subvert the democratic republic and the electoral system.
The former president returns to Iowa tomorrow for a Fox town hall, less than a week before the caucuses.
The latest Fox News power rankings find former President Trump's lead in the Republican race for the nomination is so high he'd have to, quote, offend his supporters, lose ballot battles, or drop out at this point to lose the lead. But the rankings also find that Nikki Haley is now in second place, though distantly so.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin remains in a hospital while Republicans and Democrats in Congress demand more answers on why, for days, Austin did not tell the White House he went to the hospital last week. GOP Congressman Matt Rosendale wants the secretary impeached.
The Deputy Secretary of Defense was given some temporary duties from her vacation in Puerto Rico without understanding why.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich also reports
the White House has said that they would not accept Austin's resignation if it was offered, but no one has offered it. Since this all happened, U.S. forces were attacked 13 times overseas.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Israel for talks focused on Gaza's post-war future, but the war against Hamas rages with more bombings today, forcing more civilians to flee to shelters. More than 23,000 Palestinians have been killed. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What they said and what we got. Lots of rain on radar, 40 degrees downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Forecasters were calling for a rain-snow mix.
But what most Hoosiers received in central Indiana was rain. I'm Ryan Hedrick. The reason for that is simple, says National Weather Service meteorologist Alex McGinnis.
Had we had colder air ahead of the storm, we could have had a light coating at least, and luckily we were warm enough to avoid that.
McGinnis says another system producing high winds, potential rain, and snow arrives on Friday. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Colts owner Jim Irsay is in the hospital. He's being treated for what the team says is a severe respiratory illness. They say he's receiving excellent care. Congressman Greg Pence says that he will not be seeking re-election to the House. He's the second member of Congress in Indiana to announce as such, along with Larry Bouchon in as many days. Economic freedom for Hoosiers, according to Democrats.
Let's raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour.
State Rep Phil Giaquinta says it's that and also fixing property taxes and increasing tax deductions for renters. It's all part of the state Democrats' economic freedom agenda for the General Assembly this year. A fire at the Glendale Town Center on the north side. IFD Battalion Chief Rita Wright says it took firefighters a little while to find the fire.
Kind of investigated around all four sides of the mall and found some light smoke showing from
the area of where the library and Staples and Target is located.
But they got the fire put out. No one was hurt. A grand opening date set for Indiana's newest casino being built in Terre Haute. The Terre Haute Casino Resort will be planning to open its doors April 5th of this year. County leaders in Vigo County expect it to generate around $3 million to $5 million in economic impact once it's open. Zachariah Brock is now a former locksmith employed by the University of Evansville. He was fired and then arrested, accused of going into the dorm rooms of female students and stealing their underwear. Anna Gray with Evansville PD.
Sure. At this time, we don't know exactly how many students. Like I said, we had over 100 pieces. I think there was close to 150 pieces of mail.
He now faces charges of burglary and theft. I'm Kirk Darling on The Level, on the go, and on WYBC.com.
It's time to meet another Jiffy Lube Do More winner.
Hi, I'm Kristen Normington, co-founder and COO of Hoosier Forward.
And I'm Jiffy Lube owner Steve Sanner. At Jiffy Lube, we are proud to support Hoosier charities that use their vehicles to do more to make Indiana a better place to live.
Hoosier Forward is created from when our son was born. We realized very quickly how fast medical bills and the supplies and anything needed that we would ever want adds up. We saw the need and knew that that was something that we could help with.
Jiffy Lube of Indiana provides all of our Do More winners with free vehicle maintenance for a year. Because now at Jiffy Lube, our trained technicians do more to keep vehicles like theirs and yours on the road. Brakes, tires, batteries, and more, as well as Indiana's favorite oil change since 1985.
Jiffy Lube accepts competitors' coupons, so you don't have to choose between saving a few dollars versus treating your vehicle to Jiffy Lube's award-winning service. Click on JiffyLubeIndiana.com for a Jiffy Lube near you.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WYBC.
Oh, happy day, Casey. I thought yesterday when Bouchon announced he wasn't going to run, that was the only turd we were going to be able to flush down the toilet this election season in Indiana. But well,
something else has happened.
And it's even better.
I can't even believe this. Literally 30 seconds before we go on the air, we're talking about what we're going to talk about. And it was going to be Joe Biden, how he was at the Mother Emanuel AME Church in South Carolina, and all the things that he said. And we still might get to that. But this definitely takes precedence.
Oh.
Because this is some breaking news.
Yes, ma'am. Greg Pence, you remember Greggy. He is the... He is the younger brother or older brother. He's one of the brothers. He's one of the Pence boys. He's best known probably as being running the Keel Brothers Oil Company. You remember them. They were a colossal failure, and then he stuck the local bank holding the bag on all sorts of money that they didn't pay back, and then stuck the taxpayers with all sorts of environmental damage that he didn't pay back. But none of that matters. It doesn't matter what you do in life. It doesn't matter who you screw over. If you look and sound like your brother and your brother's the vice president, you can be a member of Congress. And Greggy has apparently decided after, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, after 6 years of accomplishing absolutely nothing, there must be a new grift somewhere that's going to be better for him because he is throwing in the towel.
Yep, he has announced that he will not seek re-election. He said in 2017, I ran for Congress because I was ready to serve. As a former Marine officer, I approached the job with purpose.
What is it with these Marine guys? And every 6 seconds, they got to let you know they were in the Marines.
In the Marines.
Like if you were a trash man and you ran for Congress, you wouldn't be like every 6 seconds, as a former trash man, I was ready to serve. No, you just go and serve. But whether it's Todd Young or Greg Pence, every 3 seconds, they got to let you know they were in the Marines.
He said, after 3 terms, I've decided to make the decision not to file for re-election. For the remainder of my term this year, our team will continue to focus on delivering outstanding constituent services to the voters in Indiana's 6th district. It is a privilege and honor to represent you in our nation's capital.
Okay, so we did the segment earlier on
remainder of his term this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's done. Okay. He's done at the end of the year, so he's not going to quit in the middle. I mean, unlike professional office hopper Aaron Houchin, he's not going to quit on his constituents. So I guess we give him I don't know. Do we applaud that now if people don't quit on their constituents
for finishing the job?
Is that the bar
he asked for?
Is that how low it is now? That if you just simply finish your obligation. Not well, mind you, but you just finish the obligation. I mean, essentially, him and Bouchon will have a massive case of senioritis and get a nice check and benefits for the remainder of the term. But look, it's the same things we said about Bouchon apply to Greg Pence. I guess Bouchon is moderately better in the sense of he had to earn it. He didn't get it handed to him based on his last name being Pence and looking and sounding like his brother. And we saw earlier, this was last year, the big story that Abdul broke, that that Pence desperately wanted to be Suzanne Crouch's lieutenant governor nominee, and there was all sorts of confusion on whether she had offered that to him or not. And there was immense backlash to where that quickly then got swatted down after it came out. Kloffenstein just sent me a text, and I think he's right on this. He said, doesn't 6 years in Congress get you vested in the health care and pension plan for life? We got to Google that and look that up, because I think he maybe do that here, because I'm going to give you some time to do that here for a second. But this is another example, just like we talked about with Larry Bouchon, where if you were to say with Greg Pence, other than clinging to the Trump coattails, and he voted for all the Trump stuff because obviously his brother was the vice president and he was not going to, go against that. What is the accomplishment of Greg Pence? What has Greg Pence done or fought for? I mean, he's the stooge who famously said, whoever gets out of this conference committee on the speaker, I'll vote for. Whatever that is how stupid Greg Pence is. He admitted that out loud, that it doesn't matter. I mean, because we said at the time, well, what if Fidel Castro got out of the conference, Greg? Would you vote for him too? I mean, these are the people that are representing us from Indiana. The Larry Bouchons and Greg Pences of the world, who are totally there for club sport. They're there for the perks. They're there for the benefits. They're not there to serve you at all. Was that right?
At least 5 years of service.
Oh, wait, what's that? So he gets the lifetime gravy train brigade, and he's out the door.
It's part of the civil service retirement system.
So it is. If you serve at least 5 years, you're in. Good catch there by Kloppenstein. They don't even hide it. Like, he's not even like, hey, I'm going to do 8 just so nobody will catch on. No, I got my 6 in. I'm out of here. Is there anybody, any family you can think of in Indiana, when you take Mikey and Greggy and put them together, who has grifted more off the taxpayers of Indiana?
Yeah, of the state of Indiana.
Think about the colossal amount of money, because Mikey's on the lifetime gravy train brigade, obviously made a colossal amount of money off stabbing Trump in the back and writing that book. And now you got Greggy. I don't know. Does he still own that antique mall down there in Edinburgh? I'd have to check into that. I don't know how else he's earning a living. I mean, now, here's the thing, Casey.
We're getting rid of all the Pences in politics?
But maybe, just maybe, he plans to use these sweet pension bennies that he's going to get and the subsidized, freebie health care, that extra money, to pay back those people he screwed over with the Keel Brothers Oil Company.
You think so?
Maybe that's his plan. Maybe the taxpayers are finally going to get it reimbursed for how he screwed us over with Keel Brothers Oil Company. Now, I can't wait, Casey. You watch. They're probably out there. These donors and lobbyists and establishment Republicans are probably sprinting to the nearest cellular telephone to tweet how much they're going to miss Greggy and what a great conservative he was and what a great job he did. It'll be Larry Bouchon 2.0. I'm torn on this because I can't think of much that would make me more happy than learning Greg Pence is gone. However, again, the establishment is not just going to give up and go, well, guess there'll be an actual conservative who cares about the people in there. No, they're going to pick some hand-selected stooge, and they'll put $1 gajillion behind that person, and they're going to do it down in Bouchon's district, and it'll just be a repeat of what we already have, and next year I'll be mad at someone else.
Does it concern you at all that all of these people seem to be getting out at the same time, or is this just the nature of things?
Well, again, I think, as Kloffenstein pointed out, Greggy is a grifter. Well, he didn't say that. I'm saying that. But he pointed out how Greggy hit his minimum requirement to get, a huge windfall from the taxpayers forever and ever. And that's what that family is, living off the taxpayers forever and ever. I think he recognized there is a huge I can no longer milk off my brother's teat anymore because his power structure is over with. He couldn't get elected dog catcher now. And so I could hang on to this congressional seat, and maybe next year I get a challenger of some sort. Who knows? or I can just cash out now and he'll find some sweetheart job, some cushy landing spot, and that's the way the Pences operate.
Okay, it is 13.
What a great way to start the hour, Casey.
Surprise, surprise. You never know. It is 13 minutes after 11 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Let's talk about somebody else that you actually like, or at least did at one point, and that is Tiger Woods. He's ending his 27-year partnership with Nike.
That's the story of Rob's life. Someone you liked, or at least you did at one point. So you know my theory, Casey, that Tiger Woods is one of the 4 greatest athletes that ever lived. He's totally on the Mount Rushmore with Michael Jordan, Babe Ruth, Tiger Woods, and probably Muhammad Ali. We've had that discussion before. Tiger Woods should go down as the greatest golfer of all time. However, because he's not going to beat Jack Nicklaus's major record. I think that'll remain for Jack because of longevity. However, that span of about 4 or 5 years there with Tiger, it was the most dominating in the history of athletics, what he was doing in golf. It was just simply unbelievable. However, so what I think has happened with Tiger is I'm 40 years old. I was 12 years old when Tiger Woods came onto the scene. So in terms of people who saw and understood Tiger and were kind of captivated by Tiger and went to their parents and was like, I want Tiger merch. I'm on the last kind of vessel. So that means the people who were captivated by Tiger are
older,
mid 30s and up, and many of those people now have entered their late 40s, early 50s. So those people are not buying things based on celebrity endorsement anymore. And young kids are not captivated by Tiger anymore because he's just kind of some old, largely forgotten guy. I mean, people know who Tiger Woods is if you're into golf, but he hasn't won. 2019 was the last time he won a major. He obviously hasn't even been competing really for the past 2 or 3 years.
So he's not bringing in any new people.
I think Nike's getting out of the golf game, certainly on the clubs and balls side, and probably clothes as well. And so I think they just simply said, look, this guy doesn't move the needle like he once did. If he plays in a tournament, it's still a really, really big deal. But it's a really big deal for a more nostalgic view now than, hey, everything needs to be logoed, and if Tiger Woods farts into a microphone, it makes national news. And so I think they went to him and probably made him an offer that he looked at. The rumor is he's going to start his own line of clothing, which makes sense if indeed he goes that way. And I just don't think he moves the needle anymore in terms of selling merch, certainly on a global scale like he once did. And these people are in business, and so all good things must come to an end. And I also think Tiger's personal issues probably have tainted him, a great deal. There's still a great deal of mystery around the car accident. A lot of people think there was cover-ups of some sort, or at least some helping hands involved. Obviously, the thing that happened with his wife and what came out, about that. By all accounts, he's a great dad to those kids, but certainly his personal life. I mean, that woman that he was living with just sued him. I think Tiger ended up winning that case. But I think if you're Nike and you're looking at who you're going to throw your money behind, the kiddies aren't being moved by Tiger anymore. You're getting out of the golf game, and so Tiger will go where he can make the money.
So he posted the news on Instagram, and it was a picture of him in one of his red polos, and he said it was a hell of a run. And but he also said there will certainly be another chapter. So it sounds to me that your opinion of this is that it was Nike who cut him loose.
I think if Tiger had come back with some sort of great hometown discount to keep the name with Tiger Woods in house, I think they probably would have done that. But I mean, you're talking high, nine-figure deal. I would bet at one point Tiger Woods had a 9-figure deal with Nike. I don't know if they've ever disclosed those terms, but you think over 27 years the amount of money Tiger Woods has made off Nike. And if you're Tiger and they're not offering that anymore, and you've got business people galore around him, he's a billionaire, and they say, hey, we can start our own line of merch and we'll sell that and we'll do just as well, then, it's probably even better for your brand.
Don't you think he kind of hinted at this in 23 last year when he wore the FootJoys during the Masters? Kind of like this relationship with Nike is kind of dwindling out.
I think Tiger came to and I think actually Tiger Woods came to the realization, let's face it, the 2019 Masters that he won was a fluke. He came from out of nowhere on Sunday. It was an early start because of a rain-threatened Sunday that was kind of a fluke. And really, other than that, for the past decade, Tiger has been largely irrelevant in terms of the upper echelon of golf. Now, he's won a couple tournaments here or there, but he's just not, and it's over. I mean, that leg injury, it's amazing he can even play golf. It's amazing he can walk around a golf course. The fact that he even is able to get out there is incredible, but he's not winning a major anymore. He's not competing in a major anymore. And if you're Nike, you're just saying, look, and Jack Nicklaus did the same thing. Jack Nicklaus, the Golden Bear brand, it was his brand. Later in his life, he has marketed that to great success. It has made him a fortune. And Tiger Woods is going to follow in the footsteps of Jack Nicklaus and probably start his own brand.
It is 18 after 11 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Things were busy in Brownsburg last night. Huh?
Oh, that school board meeting was wild. And by wild, I mean that board went out of their way to be as deceptive and deflective and anti-transparent as possible. And a room full of people were so disappointed.
And you got a round of applause. And I can't believe it.
At a school board meeting.
I know. We're going to share it coming up on 93 WIBC.
2024.
2024.
A consequential year.
Let's get to the facts.
Listen. Will likely re-elect a current.
Go out and vote.
Or former president.
How important elections are.
A new governor. A new senator. With a balance of power in the House and Senate.
33 seats are up for grabs.
And it all starts in Iowa January 15. As it plays out.
What's happening?
You'll hear it all here.
People need to stay informed.
On your 2024 election information station, 93 WIBC.
Hey, good morning. It's Casey. And you couldn't pick a worse time to sell your home. Sure, your home is worth a small fortune right now, but are you really going to swap your 2 or 3% interest rate and pay 7 or 8% interest on a new house? No, you're not. Of course not. And you don't have to with the Get Paid and Stay program from Truehold. This is ingenious. With the Get Paid and Stay program, Truehold will buy your home now at its best current value. You bank the cash, you stay in the home until interest rates come back down. Or as long as you'd like. It's your call. Plus, you won't have to pay property taxes, insurance, or upkeep anymore. Truehold pays those expenses. Sounds pretty good, huh? Learn about Truehold's Get Paid and Stay program. Their phone number, 1-855-300-9993, or visit them online, Truehold.com. It's the smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Winter is here, and if you've already had enough of the cold drafts blowing through your old windows, bundling up in layers of clothes and blankets, and hearing the heat turn on for the 5th time this hour, then it's time to talk to the pros at Window Nation. Replacing those old windows with quality, energy-efficient ones from Window Nation is easier and more affordable than you think. Right now through the end of the month, replace the windows in your home and pay no interest for 5 years. That's a great deal, and on top of that, Window Nation is also giving you 50% off all window styles.
Window Nation's professional installation means your windows will fit right, so you won't have to worry about leaky, dirty windows and those cold drafts letting out your heat anymore. Don't wait. With 0 interest for 5 years, why not give Window Nation a look? Let Window Nation show you all the options to fit your needs and budget. It's easy. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Let Bill Estes put you behind the wheel of the powerhouse brands that define American toughness. Ford, Chevy, Ram, and GMC. Right now, save up to $11,000 off MSRP on Ford trucks. Unleash the power of the road with Bill Estes Trucks. Find the location near you and see their inventory at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Prices include Costco membership rebate of $1,000. All rebates and incentives included in final discount. Stock numbers BCI 230444, BCJ 240066, BFB 230713. TRX Raptor and ZR2 models excluded from all offers. See dealer for details. Offer absolutely ends January 31st, 2024.
Can't sleep with this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as a yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold. Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
BoerRemodeling.com, serving Central Indiana for 23 years. These are your kitchen and bathroom remodeling specialists. When you're ready to make the change, they're ready for you. It's a new year, so it's time to get it done. That kitchen, that heart of the home, the bathroom, a place where you can actually relax and build instant equity in your home. 317-852-5546 or online at Boer, BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
The Indy Golf Expo is back January 19th through 21st at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Buy a player's tour pass and get bonuses while they last. Tickets at ingolfexpo.com.
It's the Kendall and Casey Show.
Dale Griffith, how the hell are you?
Well, I'm still $1 million shy of being a millionaire.
On 93 WIBC.
There goes my hero. Watch him as he
23 minutes after 11 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. You were busy last night.
Yes. Before we get into this just totally ridiculous school board meeting I went to, I want to point something out about our good friend, the doctor, Larry Bouchon.
Yeah.
So Klopfenstein and I have been texting back and forth here because he's the research department here at the Kendall and Casey Show. So, Casey, in order to get the pension, you got to have served 5 years and you got to be 62 years old.
Yeah.
Larry Bouchon, you want to take a guess on Larry Bouchon's birthday, Casey?
Oh, his birthday?
The date of his birth.
Oh, let's say March.
Oh, you're close. May 31st. Now, this is according to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
May 31st, 1962, which means this year he would be how old, Casey?
61. He'll be turning 62, right?
Boy, he sure will, Casey. So that means Larry Bouchon served, probably a total coincidence, just long enough.
Sure it is.
Just long enough to be in there for the sweet pension program that these Congress retirees get, and I'm sure that's just a giant coincidence.
That timing
and
is
it's all
just
about the people.
so coincidental.
It's wild, isn't it? That's crazy how that worked out.
That's nice for him.
Oh my goodness, and
happy
gosh,
for him
so
about
Greggy
that.
and Larry and the rest of the Good Time Fun gang are going to be getting just sweet bennies for their air quote here for people on the YouTube feed, their government service, and you're going to pay for it until you toss them in the box.
Don't you love that for them?
Oh my goodness. So yes, I did go to the speaking of from one group of people, elected people who are screwing us to another, I did go to the Brownsburg School Board meeting last night.
Yeah.
And this was the most government thing ever, and this is why people hate the government. So there's this huge controversy now over they are trying to run out the superintendent, Jim Snap. And they called this emergency meeting while everyone's on Christmas break, which never happens. I mean, don't you have somewhere with your family to go or whatever? They call this emergency meeting. They emerge from this emergency meeting and they say, we have decided we are not extending the contract of the superintendent, Jim Snap. And people are going, wait a second, we have clarified this in this program. Jim Snap is like the last guy I'm ever going to defend, and we're not going to be hanging out at Bellagio together anytime soon. But people are going, wait a second. You sleazy, slimy people at every turn are telling us how, hey, the Brownsburg school system, #1 in the state. We walk on water. We're above reproach. They should probably make this guy a saint in the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, you're coming out in December and making this emergency announcement that you're not going to extend his contract, and people are looking at themselves going, what the hell's going on out here to steal a line from Vince Lombardi?
Well, I mean, that abuse of that special needs child happened under his watchful eye.
Well, it sure did, but the narrative has never changed the entire time he's been there, that he is the infallible superintendent. Okay, fine. If you are indeed the #1 school system in the state of Indiana, and we are the athletics are great, and the music program is great, and everything is wonderful, it's equivalent of winning the Super Bowl every year in Indiana public education,
and then firing the coach,
and then saying we're not extending the contract of the coach. So, as you know, and many people know, I've been putting out. I had some very, very influential people inside the school system who I will not name because they would be totally eviscerated for acknowledgement that they hang out and associate with me. There are many similar people who helped me get the Vomit Gate story. We broke that story, if you remember. And these people began to give me information about what was developing and going on inside Brownsburg schools. And it appears very clear now that this is being driven by Eric Hilton, who is the radical left board member there in Brownsburg, teachers union attorney who somehow manages to be on the school board, and Jessica Heffernan, who is the board president, that these two have been driving to remove Snap. The one thing you can kind of put together right now is that they have a replacement in mind who is far more radically left than Snap, and they want to drive him out to put this person in, and who knows if there's other reasons behind this. The point is you simply don't know. And the board had another meeting, a regularly scheduled meeting last night, and there's a room full of people there. Normally there's like 10 people at these meetings who no doubt are sitting here going, okay, you've thrown the gauntlet down. There are these reports from people like me who have had to put this together because you won't be transparent, that you're trying to drive this guy out for a hand-picked replacement. Maybe we'll actually get some information on what's going on here, because it's
transparent at this meeting.
It simply doesn't make sense to say this guy is the superintendent of a school corporation that walks on water, and yet you're not extending his contract.
If he's so wonderful, why aren't you keeping him around?
Exactly. So maybe we'll get some transparency here. And so they start off the meeting. They do have citizens' comments there. And so they start off the meeting, and right out of the gate, they do the thing where you can speak. We're not going to engage with you. And they went out of their way to say, we're not going to discuss any personnel matter tonight. They act like people are concerned about the janitor. It's like, this is not personnel. I guess technically he works for the school, but you have allowed this guy to rule by decree for 13 years now. This is not personnel. This is the de facto mayor of this school system who you have put up on this pedestal. And for you guys to now leave this dude apparently hanging out in the wind, and you not giving people any sort of information, and then up front to go, we know why you're all here,
but we're not going to address it.
We're the largest taxing entity in this community. We have a budget that would make Elon Musk blush. We gobble up tax money, and we know that the community is now deeply concerned, because if it is that indeed the guy's not liberal enough, just say it. Just say the guy is old and white, and we are...
it doesn't align with our...
Yeah, and the DEI, SEL, CRT crowd, even though he's done a lot of the bidding that we have asked him to do, ain't working for us. We're going in a different direction. Okay, fine. Or is there something else at play that we need to know? I think people are just sitting here going, this is ridiculous that you guys have said how great this guy is, and now with no notice whatsoever, you're not extending the contract, and people like me are having information given to them from very reliable sources saying, not only are you not extending his contract, you're trying to push the guy out of before the contract's even up. So they go through, of course, everybody gets up and speaks, and I got up and spoke, and we'll get to that here in a second. But I just wanted to play a little montage at the end of this, and this is why people hate the government. People went last night and made it very clear. We are looking to you for answers. We want to know what's going on with our school system. You are the school board. We are here. Please give us some information on why that meeting was called. There was another special closed-door meeting that was called. They didn't reveal any information out of that. What is happening with our school system? And here is the montage at the end of the meeting during the school board comments. And listen to how, Casey, they go out of their way
to not say anything,
to acknowledge, we know you people are pissed off. We know you're concerned. We know why you're here, but blank us, blank you.
Though there have been some difficult topics discussed tonight, I welcome the comments and appreciate that we have passionate parents and community members that are interested in our district leadership and in our schools.
I want to thank everybody for speaking up and being passionate about what they had to say. The reality is 2023 was a rough school year for Brownsburg School District. The goal of the district is to improve on it and get better in 2024.
I just want to commend all those that got up and spoke today, as it is never easy to get up and do so. Always encourage those that need to or feel the need to make a comment to do so.
I just want to thank everyone who took their time to attend this meeting this evening or watch online. Your passion and commitment to the Brownsburg schools should be recognized. I also want to thank my fellow board members for their continuing commitment to our teachers, students, staff, and parents. Our decisions aren't always easy ones, and we take great care in listening to public questions and concerns while weighing our duty to do what we have been elected to do, which is continuing the high standards and excellence of Brownsburg schools. So
it's like a Seinfeld episode. You've taken the reservation.
You're just not holding the reservation.
You are acknowledging the people are here and are really concerned and are really upset.
But not answering anything. And how much pandering was that? And the last lady was saying how great Brownsburg is, but then the second guy was like, it's been a really bad year for Brownsburg. Which is it?
Well, I mean, that guy who he probably got in big trouble from his adult supervision, Eric Hilton, that was Mike Wells, who is one of the dumbest people alive, and I'm sure he got just blasted for being honest about that. It was a rough year for Brownsburg. And look, if there's something going on with Vomitgate, if there's something you haven't told us yet, we have the right to know. If it is indeed that this guy has just simply not done the bidding of going radically left, which is what has been reported, we have the right to know. If the deal is he didn't want to hire the high school principal because there were better, more qualified people, and this is some revenge tour against him, which has been alleged, then say that. You're the board. You're in charge. But this is what is, I mean, we saw the disaster in Center Grove where that guy is out under a cloud of darkness and suspicion. We're seeing this happening here where these people, it's not the thing, it's that they're going out of their way to be as untransparent as possible, and it fosters doubt, it fosters deceit, it fosters resentment, it makes people go against each other, and these 5 board members collectively are all doing it not because of the thing they're doing. If you want to fire him, fine. I know the next thing's going to be worse, which is why I have concerns, but you have the right to do that. But this game of deliberate game of cat and mouse and deception is gross.
They're doing step 3 of the 3-step process. You've got acknowledgement, apologize, and then change the behavior. Clearly they're making a change, but they haven't done 1 and 2. But you have no idea about the acknowledgement.
What are you apologizing for? I thought we were the best. I thought we were number 1. Now you've acknowledged, and thank God for people like Mike Wells who are stupid enough to not even be able, at times of scripted statement, be able to stay on the script, to reveal to us that apparently there is something going on. But what is it?
Yeah.
We're the taxpayers. We're the boss, but the government doesn't view you. These elected people, whether the down the street from the State House or in Washington, D.C., or at the Brownsburg School Board meeting, they don't view you as the boss. They don't fear you, and they laugh at you.
It sounds to me like it's 2 prongs. It's one, he's not doing a good job, especially with everything that we've revealed. Well, with the special needs child, and then the other section of this is maybe he's not far left enough for him. So it could be both.
And whatever it is fine. So real quick before we go to break, people did not believe this. I put this out on social media last night. There was a out-of-body experience, Casey, that I wasn't sure it actually happened, but I did go back and review the video, and it has, and people did not believe this. I was given a round of applause by the room at the Brownsburg School Board meeting
Were you eloquent?
last night.
Did you say some brilliant things?
Well, I just told these guys, I've asked all these questions I've been asking on social media, and I said, now you've made me mad where I'm going to actually start digging through the, not backdoor channels, but the actual legal channels, which is going to make your lives a lot more difficult because now you piss me off. And I asked these questions, and the room started erupting in applause. And I thought the only time I was ever going to get a round of applause at a Brownsburg School Board meeting is when they announced my passing. And I got a round of applause. And so many people did not believe it, I think, including Tony Katz. Didn't believe it. He tweeted that out earlier last night. And so for the record, I did get a round of applause from the room at the Brownsburg School Board meeting.
And if Dr. Snapp is indeed dismissed or resigns for any reason, will this board commit to not hiring his replacement until after the school board elections in the fall of 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kendall.
I mean, there were people who were loath to clap for me because they hate me, but there was applause. There was applause.
That's a really good point,
all right,
though.
Kevin's telling us we got to go or he's going to kill us.
All right, it's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Is he immune? I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. That's the question before a judge in Washington today for former President Trump.
In their brief, they write, quote, the indictment of President Trump threatens to launch cycles of recrimination and politically motivated prosecution that will plague our nation for many decades to come and stands likely to shatter the very bedrock of our republic. Special counsel's office says these arguments are nonsense, that Trump's conduct fell outside his official duties as president.
Fox's Rich Edson. A lunar lander mission is being scrapped after suffering a critical malfunction. Less than a day after launch, Astrobotic Technology was trying to become the first private company to land on the moon. Colts owner Jim Irsay is in the hospital. He's being treated for a severe respiratory illness, according to the team. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
If you haven't switched to MediShare yet, 2 big reasons to at least consider it and why it makes so much sense right now. Number 1 is inflation, which is just affecting everything. It just makes sense to say, okay, where can I actually save? Well, you can save a lot in one fell swoop if you switch to MediShare. The typical family saves $500 a month. Secondly, your conscience. MediShare members aren't forced to pay for things they don't support or believe in, and that's a big deal for a lot of people right now. They want their money to actually help people. And one more reason, you can trust MediShare. It's been the gold standard for healthcare sharing for more than 30 years. It works, and members love it too. It has double the member satisfaction rating compared to health insurance. So now's a great time to consider making the switch, and they are very easy to talk to. MediShare has great customer service. You can call now and get a price within 2 minutes. Here's the number. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Get ready for holiday feast season with Pepto-Bismol.
Uncle Derek's here with his famous fried turkey. Hey, Aunt Mary brought the mac and cheese. Donna's here with the potato salad.
Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief for unexpected stomach upsets. So enjoy the holidays. Pepto has you covered, no matter who made the potato salad.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto-Bismol. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. Destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars Thursday, January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, January 27th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
The Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. For hunting, sporting, and personal protection gear, visit the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
So yesterday was Black Monday in the NFL and the American Heart Association turning 100 years old. We're going to talk about that coming up from 93 WIBC. It is Kendall and Casey. How about John Fetterman? He co-sponsored... Better Man, not Fetterman.
Better Man.
He co-sponsored a bill that would ban congressional stock trading. Apparently, he has not traded any stocks while he's been in office.
Well, look, I mean, again, kudos to him for doing this. Something happened to him when he went into therapy that has at least publicly changed him. Again, we talked about this yesterday. The votes are ultimately all that matters. He can say whatever he wants. It's the votes that matter. But good on this one because these members of Congress do stuff and write laws to exempt themselves from something. If we do it, we go directly to jail, do not pass go, do not collect $200. And that's how all these people come in, normal people, and walk out millionaires. They know they have insider information.
Right. His estimated net worth is already around $1.1 million.
That's not that much.
It sounds like a lot, but it's really not.
I mean, you've got to be 4 or 5 times that.
Oh, sure, I wish. But how interesting is that he goes into Walter Reed for some mental health care, and he seems to come out more conservative.
They zap the liberalism right out of him.
Right.
Casey.
I mean, is that an indication that liberalism is a mental illness?
You said that, not me, Casey. I'm not going to let you play games with people's mental health. You may not be wrong.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, Michelle Obama. She's running, right? That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC. It's 2024 and the choice is yours. You can live with that awful joint pain or you can get lasting relief. Don't go another year compromising because of the pain in your knees or shoulder. Talk to QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative, non-surgical pain relief. Your body has what it needs to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue. And QC Kinetics can make it happen. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. The future of pain treatments has arrived and QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, hip pain, well, they used to have it. Any pain associated with arthritis or an injury. It's not a Band-Aid. This revolutionary treatment can get you moving again, get your life back. And listen, it's non-surgical. Get a free consultation on the calendar today. You can even visit on Saturday for no downtime at work. QC Kinetics. It's in Eagle Creek, in Greenwood, and now in Carmel. Call 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN. QC Kinetics. 317-559-PAIN.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about desserts like I used to.
Bridget, how much have you lost now?
I had lost a total of 83 pounds.
Holy cow.
It's easy, it's fun, very relaxing, and very successful.
And I would just say go for it.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late night eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Seminars Thursday, January 25th at the Holiday Inn, Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, January 27th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration is 30 minutes before the seminar. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
If you're over 50, Absolute Wealth Management LLC is offering a special deal to kickstart your financial journey in 2024. You can have your 2023 tax return prepared and filed, including Schedules A, B, and D, for just $79.95. Call us now at 317-288-0634. That's 317-288-0634, or visit AbsoluteWealthManagementLLC.com. Investment advisory services offered through Gradient Advisors LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Gradient Advisors LLC and its advisors do not render tax, legal, or accounting advice.
Guys, it's a new year. Low T Center can make it a great one if you've been feeling tired and grumpy. I've noticed a lack of motivation and drive. You may have low T. Low testosterone levels can cause weight gain, loss of muscle mass, and so much more.
At the Low T Center, they make it quick and easy to get your levels checked, and it's only $25. And with their on-site lab, you're going to get results back in about 25 minutes. Go to lowtcenter.com right now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Say hello to the power, performance, and precision of Ram trucks at Kahlo and Noblesville. The strength and style of Ram, combined with the experience and service you'll only find at Kahlo. Right now, save up to $15,000 off MSRP on Ram. See the massive inventory of Ram trucks at hellokahlo.com or visit the new showroom on State Road 37 in Noblesville.
All rebates and incentives included in final discount. Stock number KCN220309. TRX Raptor and ZR2 models excluded from all offers. See dealer for details. Offer absolutely ends January 31st, 2024.
Hi, this is Denny Smith. C&J is offering one of their great discount programs, and it's one you've got to take advantage of to upgrade your home's water system. Invest in one item, it's $250 off. 2 items, $500 off. And if you invest in 3 items, you'll get $750 off. They're also offering $25 off a bacteria sampling, something you should be doing every year. Act now and make your water system goals for 2024 a reality with C&J. They're local and they're affordable. 317-733-SOFT or cnjwater.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today.
Today.
Emmer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Baby, what a big surprise. Right before my very eyes.
93 WIBC. It is the Kendall and Casey show. Rob, I know you were up late watching football last night. It was college football. However, something happened yesterday that is becoming known as Black Monday. And we're talking about the NFL. So the Commanders, they fired their coach.
Yeah.
And the Falcons, they fired their coach. And then there's rumors that Bill Belichick may be on the bubble as well.
Yes, so this is what happens in the National Football League. And so this is so wild. Like in our business, the bell tolls for everyone at some point. But you never really know when it's going to be because there is no end of the radio season. They just call you in on a random Thursday and say,
you out of here. Somebody will assist you with your things, and good luck in your future endeavors. And
we wish you the best.
We have long joked that there are two sets of emails, and this was true at Emmis, and now it's true at Urban One, that go out when you leave. If you go out in glowing terms, like, they love you and they, you were great and whatever, you get an autobiography written about you, paragraphs of how great you did. If you leave, maybe not of your own volition,
it's this person is no longer employed here.
The other thing I can't figure out, you've been around radio longer than I have, and you were in management. They always tell you the time when the person started. Why would I care about that?
Just, I guess, to let you know the tenure of how long they'd been there.
It'll be like Sandy Smith's last day with Urban One was December the 30th. Sandy has been here since September of 2022. Why would I care?
Does that put some sort of value on how much work they did for the company?
I mean, there's a good chance I never even met Sandy. This place is so big. It's like, why would I need to know? So what is there you were in management, you fired people before. What is the thinking behind that?
I don't know. I never did that.
You just said this person's out and we're so grateful.
But I use the same terminology, so I don't know. That's a thing. Like, they're either no longer here or we wish them the best in their future endeavors.
Well, and it's always like,
this person will be getting a good recommendation, this person won't.
I don't think they actually say is no longer with us, because that might imply someone is
passed away.
Physically no longer with us. I think that is no longer with the company or something like that. Anyway, point of all this is you never know when that's going to happen.
And, with the NFL, there's now a day for it.
Yeah, it's you. And now what was interesting this year is there were about 5 or 6 guys that they thought were going to get the boot ski, and only 2 of them, Ron Rivera, who's the coach of the Commanders, and Arthur Smith, who's the coach of the Falcons, actually got fired. Now, there's still several others that they think could ultimately get let go. However, now they're doing this thing, some of these franchises, where we're going to conduct exit interviews with the players, and then maybe in the middle of the week we'll make our decision. So nobody knows. There's still about 4 or 5 guys out there that they think could get fired, but it's no longer like it used to be where everybody's out on what they deem Black Monday.
So it's not just coaches, though. The Panthers have announced that they're interviewing with 8 candidates for the general manager opening, and one of those candidates is the Colts assistant general manager, Ed Dodd. So it's like there's all sorts of openings. So this leads me to my next question. When is Jim Harbaugh going to the NFL?
Wow.
He won his game last night.
So this is the fascinating conversation, because the NCAA is probably going to hit Michigan with something pretty severe given the actions of Harbaugh and his coaching staff. And this is the crazy thing, and I was talking with some people about this last night. This very likely could end up being a Michigan vacates the national title, but just like with USC, when that happened with them, what's the punishment? They got the celebration. They got all the free publicity that comes with being in the national title game.
And the money.
And the money. And Harbaugh's going to get, the accolades, and he's going to go make $1 gajillion, in the NFL. So who really gets punished? Washington, who is the runner-up, doesn't get to celebrate the national championship. They probably legitimately were the second best team. And so this is going to be very interesting, because I think the walls are closing in on Harbaugh, and he can just basically, it's not like he's not being accused of a crime.
Right.
So he can just say, hey, that was fun. Back to the NFL we go. And whether it's the Raiders or the Chargers or maybe the Bears, there's about 3 or 4 different teams that are supposedly very interested in Harbaugh. He can just skedoodle on out the door and count his money.
Yeah, but forever he's going to be wearing those silly little sunglasses in every photo of him holding the trophy.
You know what's wild about Harbaugh, and I never knew this until recently, and I should have, because his dad I believe was a coach, was a pretty prominent person. Jim Harbaugh's dad, like if you were to do a skit on Saturday Night Live of Jim Harbaugh as an old man, his dad looks exactly what Jim Harbaugh is going to look like as a little old man. It is have you seen this? When the parent, they are the same guy,
same person.
A lot of people look like their parents, or they're there's like, hey boy, you really have your dad's eyes, or your dad's. Jim Harbaugh and his dad are twins.
Actually, the same person.
It is incredible. It is though Jim Harbaugh is dressed up, somehow managing to be in 2 places at once. Unbelievable how much they look alike.
Well, I hope you got some rest. It was a late game, but definitely worth it. It was a good game.
Well, we talked about this with Micah earlier, so I started this thing of no alcohol and no soda for 21 days, and I was feeling good about it until I found out Micah's not eating for 21 days. And like at 10 o'clock last night or 10:30 or whatever it was, it was probably closer to 10:30, I just started getting really sleepy, and I'm like, what is going on here? There's a football game I've bet on and am very into. This should not be happening. And then it kind of dawned on me this morning when I woke up.
Lack of caffeine.
It was like, boy, your body's very quickly adjusting to just drinking water all day.
Yeah. Okay, so there's one more thing I wanted to mention to you before we get out of here. The American Heart Association turning 100 years old.
Oh.
And did you know that this started with just 6 cardiologists out in Chicago getting together saying, wow, there's a lot of heart issues in this country and we should do something about this?
Well, and I'll tell you what, they've got this thing now, and my dad's actually getting ready to get one of these done. If you reach a certain age, hey, come in and get the heart scan. And it's a very relatively low-cost procedure. And, obviously consult your trained medical professional, but that seems like such a great deal to me that could prevent and save lives, and it's so cheap to get these done. A lot of the hospitals will offer them at a very discounted rate, and absolutely, if you're of a certain age or health risk, and again, consult your trained medical professional, but absolutely explore doing that because, man, there's so many people who, well, Fred had no signs of ever being, any symptoms whatsoever. And then Fred's no longer with us one day.
Yeah, they've made a lot of strides, medical advancements, especially when it comes to heart disease. Back over 100 years ago, when somebody had heart disease or a heart issue, they actually wouldn't tell the patient.
Oh.
They would tell relatives because they thought, well, there's nothing we can do for this person other than they just need to rest. They've gone.
Go to sleep.
Go to bed. Go take a nap. Heart disease remains the number one killer of Americans, and 1 in every 5 deaths is heart related.
You should totally explore. Like I said, I don't know what the age is. I don't know if it's 50 or whatever. You always see the signs at your doctor's office. You should totally explore getting one of those scans. They're very apparently low from the invasive scale, and it could absolutely detect something that other, what could be, not to say it's a minor procedure anytime you do something with the heart, but could get you in and out in a short period of time, and you're fine going forward. So absolutely consult your doctor about whether one of those scans is right for you.
Yeah, it's just amazing. You think over 100 years, like the ECG, the electrocardiogram, was invented in the 20s, and then the echocardiogram in the 50s, and now we've got medicine that can lower cholesterol and pacemakers and stents and all of the things, and all of that came out of the American Heart Association.
Yeah, we got to go.
All right, thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin, and thank you for listening today. This is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the award-winning and revolutionary online learning program that's changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Designed by teachers and early childhood learning experts, ABC Mouse seamlessly aligns with what your child is already learning in school. And with over 7,000 learning activities and more than 650 lessons, it's the most comprehensive early learning site on earth.
I have been teaching for 13 years, and I've never seen a program like ABC Mouse. It encompasses science, math, reading, social studies.
It's just endless what they can learn on ABC Mouse. I've always had to use 20 websites, and now I can just use one.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month. But you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio, abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
A house isn't a home without a little wear and tear, spilled milk, or muddy paws. But don't just clean it, quick shine it. Hey, Pat Sullivan here for Quick Shine Finishes and Cleaners with some Floor Care 101 tips. First, no matter the surface type, be sure to remove dust and debris. Avoid heavy chemicals or all-purpose liquids as they can damage the sealant layer or leave an oily residue. Now, to best clean and protect your floors at a modest price, don't just clean it, quick shine.